Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the world of the Fate Stay Night, where it looks like we're getting close to the end game of Unlimited Blade Works, and I am terrified. How the heck are we going to get out of this one? Quite a turn from Fate. We had only 2 servants remaining on day 14 there. Yeah, we had only 2 servants. No, we got 3 servants, right? No, we got 4 servants. Like, because we got Saber, we have Archer, we've got Archer 2, and we've got Lancer. So 4 servants are still alive. But it's tricky. It's tricky. We're in for a bad time coming up soon. But welcome in. Apparently, it's my affiliate anniversary. So yeah, started streaming, I guess, like 3 years ago or so. I think, like, I started streaming like What were the first things I streamed? I think the first thing I might have streamed was Sakura Wars 1. And then I streamed like a high school magic school dungeon crawler simulator visual novel, which was really fun. Actually, it's like a pseudo sequel of a older magic school visual novel I played, like Horsehall or something like that. Very fun little visual novel. But somehow we got raids through a lot of friends, and I think we were in the middle of starting the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles when I hit affiliate and was able to start getting subscriptions and emotes and stuff. So it has been a fun couple of years. We played through a whole lot of interesting games. Some weird, some not so great, but dang it, we're having a fun time with it. We're finding our niche, I guess. And I'm enjoying my niche of like really enjoying visual novels and some RPGs. It's been a good year. Like getting to go through like Unicorn Overlord earlier this year on stream, super fun. And you were here for a heck of a lot of it. Thank you, Skeeth, for being here for so much of it and being moral support and being someone to bounce things off of. Like that, it is so appreciated. But before we get into probably getting destroyed, probably getting mentally anguished via visual novel, I'm going to have a vocal warm-up with a little bit of cabaret. This is going to be an awkward song for me. I think that this is a song that's like perfectly in like my I don't feel confident singing this range, but I still want to give it a shot. It's like more of an alto song, but we'll see how we go. I might go like an octave too low for this, for it to be good. We'll see. Maybe this time I'll be lucky. See, having a hard time finding it. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, That's what I long to be. All the odds are they're in my favor. Something's bound to be done. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Love listening to the... Is that a trombone in that? I love listening to the horn section in that one. That's a really fun horn section song. To enjoy myself some cabaret. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come drink the wine. Come hear the bells. Yeah, probably need to sing that next time. Oh well. Now I got cabaret stuck in my head. Let's see how that goes. That's a happy musical, right? Love a happy musical where the Nazis storm in at the end and everything's in a concentration camp. They're just like, ah, yay, it just turned very, very dark and sad after being a party, but that's kind of the point of cabaret. Life is a cabaret, old chum, come to the cabaret. It's daybreak. The knight in red is leaning against the pillar and staring at his own arm. He puts strength into his fingertips and clenches his fist. Only about half of his sensations are left. Stupid left arm. Even though he is a heroic spirit, he can't maintain his existence without a master that will help him stay in the world. Archer is existing because of a special ability that his class holds, but that is nearing its limit. The Knight in Red's remaining strength is less than a tenth of his original power. His fist lacks strength, and he should start slowly fading if he lets his guard down. But there's no problem. Even if he only has a tenth of his power, it's enough to finish that loser Shiro Emiya off. Considering the difference in their abilities, this isn't even a handicap. Therefore, it will end once they fight. His one and only objective will be accomplished here. That is right. He has been waiting for this moment. I don't think Tosaka's narrating. He has been waiting for this moment. He has endured the endless repetition, hoping for this chance. He could only wait for a miracle that would not usually be able to occur, with a possibility close to zero. And his wish was granted. Ah, it is not about it to be granted. He does not care about what awaits him afterwards. Why'd you use the term wish? So, is there a timeline, or could Archer have been involved in a different Holy Grail War, and like the wish he got was, I want to come to this time period to kill Shiro Emiya? That wouldn't surprise me. He's been through a lot of history. This might not have been the first time he was summoned as a servant. He's been a guardian a whole lot, but we'll see. He does not care what awaits him afterwards. He will kill his own self with his own hands. That wish, which doesn't have enough of a future to be hope, what kept him going after he wore out. Was it long, or was it an instant? He is an existence that disappears after each summoning to start with. His memory does not remain intact, whether he repeats the cycle 100 or 1,000 times. It only stays in his body as knowledge. What? Heroic spirits know about other heroic spirits because they have accumulated knowledge. Just like a book. Every time they are summoned, the book with its history is sent to its home. They remain in the house and read the books they are sent.
What is troubling is that the one at the house does not know when the books were sent. Past, future, does not matter. All the books are already in his room. His only way of measuring time is to read the records of his cleaning that he will carry out. Makes no difference whether it's an eternity or an instant. An eternity is an instant, and an instant is an eternity. Therefore, he does not know how rare this miracle is. He doesn't know whether it's the first time or the 1000th time he was summoned since he gained this hope. All he has is this unordered knowledge.
So, every time the hero gets summoned, even this Guardian hero, I had assumed the Guardian hero might have been immune to it. But maybe this could be the way it's immune to her, or maybe this is how it works for all the heroic spirits. It's just like, yeah, you don't remember what happened, but it is within you. That knowledge of what you have done via your summonings is inside of you somewhere. And Archer, just based on the fact that it's frickin' Shiro Emiya, and he spends way too much time shoving stuff into his body and knows how to reform magic circuits, or knows very well how to manually activate things. Like, maybe that's how he's able to activate that. Also, because, like, he isn't just a heroic spirit, he was a mage.
The future, past, and present are all things that heroic spirits do not have. A visitor, eh? I chose this place since I told there would be no interruptions here. The knight in red suddenly gets up. Do his ears hear an intruder? Footsteps echo through the castle that should be silent. Wow. I'm surprised, Osaka. I was skeptical, but you're actually here. The voice echoes.
Oh no, it's Shinji. Okay, it's Shinji.
Wow, I'm surprised, Osaka. I was skeptical, but you're actually here. The voice echoes. The boy who entered very rudely is Shinji Metal, Shiro Emiya's best friend, just giving me another reason to want to kill Shiro Emiya. Hey now, no funny business, Archer. I have no business with you, and you don't have any business with Tosaka either. Then isn't it meaningless for us to fight here?
Will Shinji offer to be Archer's master so that he can have a supply? Would Archer propose that? Because Archer has said, just like, I take the winning side, and Shinji has Gilgamesh. That counts as winning side automatically. That's an automatic.
Shinji Metal walks over with light steps. He is looking at Ren Tosaka, who is tied to a chair. Girl doesn't say anything and just stares at the intruder while being tied up. That must make him pleased. Shinji Metal licks his lips in satisfaction and walks up to the girl.
The game's got two chances. This game has two chances. The end of this route and all of Heaven's Field. Let me, when I'm controlling Shiro, let me kill Shinji. I would accept if it happened while I was controlling Rin and Rin killed him. That is an acceptable alternative. I need this. Shinji does not use the R word here in this port. Oh, he uses the R word in the freaking original. Great. I mean, we all could imply, unfortunately, because, you know, the implications. Oh yeah, definitely knew it was the... Thank you for putting it in chat clarification, but yeah, 4-letter R word. 100%. Because it's definitely Shinji we talk about, although he would probably use a bunch of other R words. Let's face it, it's Shinji. Well, I'm not reading that sentence again. What? Shinji Matao glances in annoyance at the knight who's staring down at him in silence. What? You want to fight? Are you serious? You'd be no match for me. Shinji Matao smiles and returns to the entrance. There stands the golden-haired boy, the 8th servant, Gilgamesh. He himself is a disaster. The golden servant looks at the knight with cool eyes, but within them, the red eyes, distorted from his smile, only have the intention to murder the enemy in front of him. The knight in red is still silent. It makes no difference whether Shinji Matao appears or the strongest servant in front of him is ready to attack him. The knight calmly stares at the uninvited enemies. Ha! You're scared, right, Archer? It's fine, nothing to be ashamed of. He's the servant who killed Berserker without difficulty. It's natural for you to be so scared. Do you want Ren, Shinji Matao? Huh? Yeah, of course. There's no other reason for me to come to this castle. Seriously. You screwed up in fate. I appreciate you killed him, but it should have been me. Still mad at Ilya. Still will never forgive Ilya for stealing my kill. We got 2 chances. Archer, don't steal my kill. I don't care if I'm narrating you right now. It still doesn't count. It needs to be frickin' Shiro or Rin. I see. Then wait until things are over. I will give her to you once I get rid of Shiro Emiya. She is mine until then. It cannot be helped if you cannot compromise on that. It is regrettable, but you will die here, Gilgamesh. The knight in red declares, still staring at the golden servant. Ooh, I don't think we've seen this face. Ooh, we get, like, this is like, even like fighting to the death, I don't think we saw I'm freaking serious Gilgamesh. Ooh. Very funny, fool. Was that statement itself good enough reason for the man to kill Archer? Golden Servant identifies the knight in red in front of him as a target he must kill. Wait, Gilgamesh, don't be rash. Let's be smart. Come on, he's saying he'll give her to me. So I let him. Archer doesn't have a master, though there's no master who would form a contract with him after how many times he's betrayed people. So he will disappear if we let him be. I can take Tosaka after that. Shinji Matao stares at the Red Knight, still smiling. His eyes look as if he's enjoying the fate of one who is about to disappear soon. How smart, Shinji Matao. That decision is accurate. In that regard, you are most suitable as a master, former best friend. Actually, at this point, even after all these years, Shinji is stupid enough to still consider Shinji his best friend. After thousands of lives, thousands of wars, I honestly believe, at this point, after seeing what we've seen from Shiro, it would not surprise me if this Shiro Emiya still considered Shinji a good friend. Because he's that stupid. You show promise. What a waste. I would have formed a contract with you had you come to me. Stepping away from the knight in red, Shinji Matao claps his hands happily.
But I'm sorry, I don't need any more servants. It's unfortunate, but you'll just have to disappear. You do not need to tell me. So what will you do? Will you fight me or wait until I disappear? I'll wait. We'll protect Tosaka until you get rid of Emiya. If Archer lets this happen, it is the evilest thing he has done in this entire universe. In all of his lifetimes, this will have been the most evil thing he could do. If this guy has like a single ounce of decentness in him, he doesn't let this happen. Otherwise, he is 1,000,000,000% unforgivable. But that's right. In that case, that thing is already mine, all right? Already, right? Then don't you think I can do anything to her now? He only has one purpose, kill Shiro Emiya. Yep. He looks at the knight in red and Ren Tosaka with snake-like eyes. Those words test the loyalty of the knight in red. Okay, he's considering kicking this kid's butt, or at least kicking him out. To that, the agreement with Shiro Emiya was that she will not be harmed. But that will disappear by dawn. You can do as you wish once the time comes. Oh, Knight in Red. The Knight in Red answers in an emotionless voice. Huh! Did you hear that, Tosaka? Your servant is selling off his master. Sneer and laugh and echoes throughout the dingy home. The Red Knight leaves the room as he has no interest. What you thinking, Gilgamesh? What you thinking, buddy? Also, I really hope Heavensfeel Gilgamesh also has a different outfit. I would love Gilgamesh to have a completely different outfit depending on the route it is, and that's literally like he would be the only character to do that. I'm really hoping that's the case. That'd be so weird and stupid. He passes by Gilgamesh. He goes into the hallway, ignoring the red eyes that look at him, amused. At that moment, Baker, the King of Heroes, says, mocking him, "How the heck is this going down? We got a fatal four-way, although maybe it's going to be a tag team. We got Saber, we got Lancer, we got Archer, and we got Archer. Plus, whatever the heck frickin' Shiro's gonna try to pull. You know he's gonna... You know Shiro's gonna project stuff, probably destroy his entire body in the process, but we'll see how it goes down. First time Gilgamesh says Faker. I assume that's a big deal, but it's like, he absolutely would if... I assume somehow he saw or knows about what the Knight in Red's power is. And it's just like, from his perspective, yeah, call him a faker. Dawn approaches. Our conversation dies off as we head deeper into the woods, and the silence weighs heavily. Once I'm through the forest, I, Shiro Emiya, a hero of justice, will settle the score with that man. I have no chance of victory. My defeat is certain. I am aware of that. I'm going to be slaughtered as soon as we cross swords.
That's why we have Lancer here to explode his heart first. If we explode his heart, then we have a chance. I don't feel fear, but not out of defiance or determination. I might die, but he's long dead. The moment I realized this, I knew I was no different. There's no longer any point of feeling gloomy about my own death. I passed the castle gate. Saber's expression is dark. He knows what sort of fight awaits me. Like, can we not even go to Hercules and Ilya's grave? Can we put the maids in there? Please? I'm so sad about them maids. She was so nice when we saw her getting cakes. Are the cakes still in the house? Are the cakes still good? What day did we buy the cakes? Was that like a day 7 or 8 thing? Cakes still could be good. Cakes should still be good. Let's go get the cakes. And then we'll go after the guy in red. He's troubled by me and by him. No matter who lives or falls, the same man will disappear. She's in anguish, unsure whether she should put a stop to this absurd duel. Glances skyward. Her eyes look severe, perhaps angry that such a vain battle must be fought. Come to a great ruined hall. Morning mist shrouds the ground to be our mutual resting place. You're here. Sure took your sweet time, Shiro Emiya. His icy voice rings through the hall. Its familiar baritone comes from the second story. Man stands there atop crumbling stairs that culminate in a sunlit plateau. His crimson cloak seems distant and hazy. Maybe it's because of the mist that we were just talking about. But I can see him. I can make out every exact detail of my enemy. We share the same eagle eyes, after all. Wait, I have super eyes? Yeah, Shiro always has had good eyes, because, like, I do remember that like day 1 or day 2 or 3 where he looked up at the top of like one of the tallest buildings and like clearly saw Tosaka. So like Shiro canonically does have like insanely good vision. It's just like never touched on. That's literally like, I feel like it's only been mentioned less than a handful of times. He is the servant assigned to the role of archer. He's a bowman, yet not a bowman. Contradictory person who possesses a vast number of noble phantasm and hurls them out unsparingly. All his noble phantasms are replicas, and his personal noble phantasm is the ability to create infinite swords. I'm so jealous! When do I get that power? I need to kill him so I can get that power! I was the only one who failed to realize his identity. Were you? Heroic spirits are summoned from all eras. And if the past doesn't contain an appropriate hero, then one might be born in the future. I finally realized there can't be two pendants. Wait, I'm sorry, did Shiro literally just, like, realize this morning? That's right. You held on to it as a keepsake of your savior for the rest of your life. It is the one and only memento of Ren Tosaka's late father. It's a paradox for the two of them to exist. If Shiro Emiya held on to the pendant for the rest of his life, then the catalyst is needed to summon a heroic spirit. There must have been a connection between a summoner and a heroic spirit, just as there was with you and Saber. Ren Tosaka did not use a catalyst to summon her heroic spirit. She assumed that she summoned a servant she had no relationship whatsoever. But heroic spirits are never summoned by coincidence. There must be a material connection between summoner and spirit. It just makes me curious. What the heck were the other connections between all the other masters and all the other spirits? Ah.
That's true, there's only one explanation. Osaka didn't have anything connecting her to Archer, but yeah, this only happened because the heroic spirit had a catalyst connecting him to the summoner. That tiny gem, of which there is only one in the world. Someone saved my life, and I never found out who. But I kept that pendant with me, assuming it must have belonged to my savior. That's my answer. He has Tosaka's pendant, which makes him... You're Tosaka! Wait, no. You're Tosaka's father! I knew it! Or the heroic spirit Emiya. It was one of those three. I just wasn't sure. It was one of those three. It was a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. It happens. My future self. The man standing before me perfected Shiro Emiya's really crummy abilities and achieved my ideals. The red-clad knight looks down at me from the top of the stairs. There's no sign of anyone else around. Only he and I stand here in this hall. Archer, where's Tosaka? I left the girl somewhere in the castle. I don't remember. I just picked a room. You should hurry if you're worried about her. I mean, you took so long getting here. I gave her to Shinji Matao first. You gave her to my best friend? Oh, right, so she's in good hands. I kept my promise to you. I have not harmed her. But it's no business of mine what anyone else tries to do to her. Still, I can't hazard a guess. Shinji Matao feels a lust and animosity towards Rin Tosaka. One hardly needs to imagine what might happen to Rin under his watch. That little brat might be losing his temper at her provocations as we speak. Urgh! My blood is boiling! How can he just talk about her like that? Settle down, laddie. You can leave the last to me. I'll rescue her right away. Don't you fret, there's no way I'm going to die off screen again. No chance that happens. Lancer! That's an order from my master. I'm working with you because I won't let the last die. I gotta say, this has been more comfortable than I thought. Yesterday's work wasn't bad. Not often I have a job that I actually like. With that flippant remark, Lancer ignores Archer and just heads to the Western Terrace. Lancer. Don't worry about it. I'm just doing this as a hobby. All my orders until now have left a bad taste in my mouth, you see, so I'll see to this one all the way through. You worry about your own mess. Take care of Tosaka. Lancer departs with an "Hey!" And then he stops and turns as if remembering something. Oi, what about you, Saber? Aren't you coming? Yeah, Saber, you're just gonna stand here and just sulk? You're just gonna be awkward? Saber looks pained. No, I will remain here, Lancer. Her response isn't what you'd expect from a servant. Serious. The current master is the lassie. You're only supposed to protect your master. I know that, but I want to stay here. I must bear witness to this battle. Yeah. Whatever you say, then. You do you. Lancer disappears. The blue-clad spearman easily leaps up to the second floor and disappears. Archer doesn't make any moves to stop him. Osaka seems to have outlived her usefulness to him. I step forward through the rubble. Are we ready for a climactic? Probably not final. Because let's face it, we're probably going to have to deal with Gilgamesh. Final-ish battle? Fight. I step forward through the rubble. I'm heading for the middle of the hall, at the bottom of the stairs. Saber stays where she is. She intends to watch us fight, keeps her emotions in check. You will not interfere then. I do appreciate that, Saber. It would have been pointless to sever my contract with Rin only for you to get in my way later. I can hear her hesitate. She inhales slightly and answers the man standing at the stairs. No. Whatever happens, I will not interfere with your duel with Shiro. Good. I can kill the boy at my leisure. Yes, but I want you to answer me this. Archer, why are you trying to kill Shiro? No particular reason. I just can't accept his existence, just as he cannot accept mine. That cannot be true. You are Shiro himself. Are you not the person who embodies Shiro Emiya's ideals and became a hero? Why would you try to kill yourself? Why do you think that? The immature Shiro Emiya is a completely distinct entity from the hero called Emiya. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to exist at the same time. That is only because you're a servant. I have heard that once you become a guardian, separate from the time axis, you can be summoned into the era in which you lived. You are Shiro. You should be the very image of what he imagines and strives to become. So why? Why did you turn out so differently? I can hear the anguished question, even though she doesn't say the words out loud, even though I made her say them aloud. He starts down the stairs without answering. Can't answer. If he could, he wouldn't be here trying to settle things by force. Acha. Saber challenges him without actually stepping forward. It's alright, Saber. You can back off. With one hand, I gesture for her to move back to the entrance. Shiro. I appreciate the thought, really, but we're beyond words right now. His only goal from the start has been to kill me. Saber bites her lips of distress. I do like this background picture. I'm going to enjoy this slow walk. He looks at me, then at Archer as he descends the stairs. Why, Archer, I don't understand. I have heard that Guardians are heroic spirits who protect humanity after death. Why would you think of killing yourself instead? Guardians. Archer stops and looks down at Saber emotionlessly. The word seems to have struck a nerve. You're wrong, Saber. Guardians do not protect humanity. They're just cleaners. They are not the hero I aspired to be at all. His voice changes. Hatred and scorn tinge his despondent tone. Archer, I indeed became the hero that Shiro Emiya always aspired to. The hero of justice. Someone who always does the right thing and doesn't let anyone get hurt. The kind of person Shiro Emiya has always wanted to be, who doesn't retreat from any disasters and saves everyone equally. Is he saying he achieved that ideal? Archer. Yes, I saved many people. I did what was in my power to live up to my ideals, and I even saved the world. A hero, they called me. I finally achieved the status that I had yearned for all of my life. If you became a hero, then Shiro's efforts were rewarded, right? At the very least, you are here because Shiro Emiya's ideals were realized. You shouldn't have any regrets if that really did happen. Her verbal challenge doesn't have much force behind it. She already knows the answer. She's aware her words are wishful thinking. You asked if I realized my ideals? I did act according to my ideals, and I always did what was right. But in the end of that path, all I gained was regret. Only death awaited me at the end. I killed, and I killed, and I killed. I killed people to carry out my ideals, scattering innocent lives like so much dust and saving thousands of times the number of people I killed.
By the way, in 2014, Unlimited Blade Works absolutely failed with this fight. A complete fumble compared to the visual novel. Fantastic. Then it just makes me glad I really haven't seen the anime Unlimited Blade Works. Like I said, I think I watched like maybe the first episode and was like, wow, this animation is actually beautiful. Too bad I still hate Shiro Emiya. And never watched another episode. But after this, I might watch it, just so I can have like a more justified hatred of it. Or maybe appreciation. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch the original Stay Night again, and maybe I won't hate it as much this time around. Saber stares at Archer in shock, almost as if she's looking at a mirror.
I don't know how many times that I have repeated that, Saber. I've fought as many times as was asked of me, and I threw myself into mortal danger as long as there was conflict to be found. I've done it too many times to count. I didn't have a choice. When you save someone, there will always be someone else who isn't saved. The end of any battle only gives rise to new conflict. As long as that exists, so will heroes. I wonder who his lecture is directed at. Random theory. I think the reason that he has gotten summoned so many times is that he just straight up resonates with all swords. So I think anyone who does a summoning who doesn't have a connection to anyone, but somehow has some connection to even just like a butter knife, I think they would end up summoning this guy instead. That's why he's probably like the most summoned servant. That's why he's seen the most battles. That's why he's killed the most. That's why he has had it up to here, and this is why he needs to kill Shiro. That is why I killed. I trampled dozens of wishes to save a single person. Then I ignored even more people to save those whom I trampled on. I killed the hopes of dozens of people, saved those whom I could see, and killed the wishes of even more. In my pathetic hubris, I told myself each time that it would be the last time, that no one else would be sad anymore. But there never was a last time. As long as I was alive, I saw conflict no matter where I went. There was no end to it. It's not that I dreamed of a world without conflict. I just didn't want anyone to cry in the world that I knew. Without a doubt, that was my dream. When you save one person, your perspective expands. Next time, it'll be 10. After that, it'll be 100. How many after that? That is when I realized that Shiro Emiya was clinging to a mere feel-good idealism. Why would you say that? Do not ask me something you already know, Saber. You've experienced it many times yourself. It is impossible to save everyone. Some people must be allowed to die to save a kingdom. You encountered that reality on a daily basis, I'm sure. The Red Knight's words stunned Saber into silence, zapping her of the will to disagree. They must reflect Saber's inner darkness too, whoever the heck she is. That is right. There are only so many seats at the table. You can never provide enough chairs for everyone to sit in. You cannot save everyone, So some must be sacrificed. And to do that, I killed those few leftover people with my own hands as quickly as possible to minimize the number of casualties. This is how a hero of justice, a man who was always doing right by his ideals, should behave. I wish for no one to be sad. Well, how the heck is Emiya going to confront this? Will this deter Shiro from wanting to become the heroic spirit Emiya? Now that he's seen how far his ideals take him, if he sticks to them, who will Emiya become? I wish for no one to be sad. An ideal to save as many people as possible. If someone holds both of these ideals, and there's only one path to take once they contradict each other. He's still talking about his actual life before he even became a guardian. We know that he went off to the Middle East to fight based off of some of the images from the anime. Neat! The hero of justice can only save the people he decides to save. What the heck? Emiya, your future is kind of messed up, my dude. If trying to save everyone means saving no one, then saving as many people as you can with the minimum sacrifice is the right choice. The hero saves a lot of people, isn't that right? That is why I killed. I had someone die for the greater good, all while wishing that no one had to die. I brought despair to people while saying that no one would be sad anymore. In time, I got used to it. I betrayed my principles in my effort to live up to them. I only saved the people I chose to save while swiftly slaughtering those who opposed me. By allowing someone to be sacrificed, I stayed true to my old ideals. That is who the hero Emiya really is. So, don't you think the world will be better off if such a man died sooner? He's right. Superhero can only save the people he's decided to save. However, who ended up betraying those words in the end? I don't believe you. Even if that was true, I think that you would only be willing to sacrifice yourself to stay true to your ideals. Archer stops again. For just an instant, a pained frown clouds his face. You didn't betray your ideals. You were betrayed by them, and you just lost your way. The only instant of the original superhero translation being used instead of Hero of Justice. I like Hero of Justice. Like, superhero's nice and all, but I also just really like Hero of Justice. To me, like, in my mind, they're interchangeable in the use of this situation. Otherwise, you wouldn't be trying to kill yourself to atone for your sins. The sardonic grin disappears. Archer fixes Saber with a cold stare and... breaks into laughter, as if she just said something hilarious. Now that was classic. You think I'm atoning for my sins? Don't be ridiculous, Saber. I have no sins to be punished for, nor do I recall forcing such irresponsible matters onto someone else. The Red Knight remains deadly calm. Only his low chuckle reverberates throughout the hall. That is right, Saber. I was betrayed and deceived many times. I was even framed for the crimes of a man whom I saved. I put my life on the line to end a war, and ended up in the gallows after they accused me of masterminding the bloodshed. See, if I was guilty of anything, surely I paid for it in that moment. That cannot be, Archer. Then, in the end, you... That's about it. I didn't mind at all. I never did any of it for gratitude. Never asked to be glorified as a hero. I just wanted an outcome where everyone would be happy. But that never happened. Not during my life, or after my death. His laughter is gone. Now his words are only tinged with hatred. Guardians are a neutral power which prioritizes the survival of the ruling species. That power exists in a higher place and descends when the human world is threatened. Okay, I was gonna say, okay, he said the human world, but like, survival of the ruling species, does that mean like he's been to a future where like aliens are the ruling species and he fought on behalf of them? Or has he fought on behalf of dinosaurs against a meteor? You can't just give me wording like that. You can't give me wording like that or I'm going to twist it around in my head. I knew it was no different than slavery. I agreed to a fate of nothingness. To give up my soul to be the guardians and be removed from the time axis. As long as it meant that somebody else would be saved. In the past, I could not keep my vow as Shiro Emiya, so I thought that if I became a guardian and joined the force that prevents human destruction, that would be for the best. But the truth is different. Guardians don't save anyone. All they do is mop up. They exist only to use their power to erase everything humans have committed after the fact. They don't save people, they erase anyone who would do harm to the world, be they good or evil. Guardians are mass murderers who will eliminate people in despair rather than saving them. Though that others enjoy their lives elsewhere and may continue to live. The ruling species has changed several times. Age of Gods, Age of Fairies, and currently the Age of Man. Alright, it's good to know that that is an, I guess, controversial choice of wording. Alright. It is completely absurd. How is that any different from anything else I have done? Not different at all. In fact, it just created more despair. Couldn't make his dreams come true on his own, so he devoted himself to a greater power. And he still ended up in the same place. He thought that a higher power might be able to grant his wish, but it was just a larger version of what he'd already been doing. Is that what you've been carrying this entire time, Archer? I got used to that too. Humans are creatures of habit. The strong take from the weak in every era, and I learned it was the most efficient way to prosper. I saw it so many times. Meaningless slaughter, pointless equality, and worthless happiness. I was forced to see it even when I did not want to. Once I became a guardian, I lost my free will. I was summoned by the will of humans to clean up their own mess. Put this in anime terms. Older Guardian Emiya watched Chapter Black. Gotta sneak into Yu Yu Hakusho reference. That's the conclusion he arrived at. An existence that erased the despair other humans make. Guardians don't save anyone, they just erase the existence of people who aren't saved. We are getting to, like, one of the nitpicks of... It's a nitpick of visual novels in general. This isn't particularly, like, aiming at this one. I appreciate that they are going over this idea of what the Guardian is and what Hiro Emiya's issue with it is and explaining how he became this way. It's just like,
saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. It is the downside of visual novels, but there are plenty of times when that point needs to be fully hammered home. Over and over. Whenever they see humans do something that causes their own destruction, they show up and burn it all. The man became a hero thinking he could save as many people as possible. But in the end, that wish never came true. It was all wrong. That wasn't what I wished for. That is not what I became a guardian to do! The rage in his voice is directed at himself, probably. The man that stands before us is a worn-down wreck. The hero, Emiya, was perpetually showed the ugliness of the people he wanted to save. In the end, he felt hatred. Hatred as past self revolting the humans who just kept taking from each other. I am tired of cleaning up humanity's messes. But there's no way out of this cycle now that I'm a guardian. Except one. His cold eyes gleam with unshakable bloodlust. They aren't looking at Saber. Archer's sole objective is to erase himself. However, ever since he died, he cannot erase the original Emiya that exists in a place outside of time axis. It's impossible to erase someone who became a guardian. Guardians are of the void. There is no point killing someone who doesn't exist on the world's axis. However, if it were possible, there would only be one way. If he were to kill himself before he became a hero, then the hero would never be born. Therefore... So you're going to kill Shiro with your own hands? Yes, I have been waiting for this chance. The probability of it happening was nearly zero. But I still gambled on it. I could not live with myself if I didn't. I continued working as a guardian, hoping this opportunity would come. Won't work, Archer. You already exist as a guardian. It is too late. Even if you were to kill Shiro Emiya now, you yourself will not disappear. Maybe you're right. But there's a chance it could work. It may be impossible to alter the past, but if I do it myself, the paradox, it might just become too large. The paradox, the most ingenious paradox, a paradox. So large, perhaps, that the hero Emiya might simply cease to exist. Besides, Saber, I have only carried on as a guardian this long because I have been waiting for this moment. I'm not about to have any sudden hope for a saving grace. I'm just taking my anger out on the boy Shiro Emiya, who acts like a clown for his pathetic ideals. Enjoy the ad break. Hopefully we're not about to fight. The Red Knight steps into the same hall that I am in. Only he and I stand amidst the rubble. No obstacles separate us. Our reason for being here is simple. He wants to kill me. I can't stand him, so I'm going to kick his butt. Gotta give it a shot. Step to the center of the hall. A few more steps, there'll be no going back. What are we going to bet on the distance that the narrator tells us? I'm betting 10. 10 is the safe bet. Before that, Archer, do you regret it? One question I need to ask. Of course I do. Oh. I know you never should have tried to be a hero of justice. He spits the words out like venom. That's the last push I need. I see. Really are two different people.
What? I don't regret anything. No matter what happens. I won't regret this path. I warned you. I told you. Gotta use this chance to enjoy a little bit of hydration while the ads play away. Mwahaha. Love myself some hydration. Already almost through one bottle. Are Shiro Emiya and Hiro Emiya two different people? Guess we're about to find out. Let's let the blood feud continue. I don't regret anything, no matter what happens. I won't regret this path. That's why I will never accept you. You claim to be my ideal self? I'll strike down those stupid, flawed ideals with my own hands. That is how I've lived. I've come this far believing that it's right. Probably is mostly pride, like he said. Heck yeah. I only have the ad set for 1 minute. I don't want the ads to be very long. I've lost more than I've gained. But still, Hiro Emiya won't back down. Not even for what he's lost. I advance! The circuit in the back of my mind has already begun to sketch a blueprint. That way of thinking is the root of it all. One day you'll catch up to me. Like heck I will! So you'll let me kill you right here then. I step towards my enemy. Weird that we have no music yet. I assume it's about to start, but it's like at this point I would have thought the music would have already started. We're close enough to cross swords now. How many meters? How many meters? Neither of us are armed. We're gonna go barehanded. We're turning into a wrestling match. Quick, give him a power bomb. Shiro Emiya isn't a swordsman. We make swords. So, looks like you understand. A battle with me means a sword-making competition. His hand grip a pair of swords. That night, that simple pair of blades that took my breath away at the Ryodao Temple. They were rare masterworks, forged by a famous smith at the cost of his wife's life. Race on! I'm sorry. What the heck is that? Rare masterworks forged by a famous smith at the cost of his wife? No, we aren't jumping. We aren't jumping anywhere. What? They are married sword with a strong bond enough to return them to the owner no matter what, even if they are lost due to some kind of trouble. They perform well as swords, but they are also useful in magical rituals, sporting. Zero doesn't need a wrestler girl in the until the sequel. There's a sequel! So yeah. That just jumped up to my I need to play that list. Get that translated, please. Fate Team, Type Moon, please, please, please. There's a wrestler girl. I needs it. I really needs it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I assume that these are Shiro's original, like he made these. So I just assume like, oh, this is Archer, this is the Hiro Emiya's made swords. These are the swords that he made up in his mind. They are his original creation. But then you throw this line? Do these swords actually have a history? Or does this mean that Shiro kills his wife? They announced that the sequel will be remastered in English on the day this remaster is released. No release date. Hey, I know what I'm playing in the future. Like, straight up, like, I know there's a lot of
Fate properties, I literally did not know there was a straight-up sequel to this. And that makes me very happy. Hopefully I don't hate it. Like, I feel like every stream, I get at least one just, like, random line that's thrown here and here that completely just throws off my perspective of the entire plot of something. And just, like, they were rare masterworks forged by a famous smith at the cost of his... So, are these real swords from history that I just had never heard of? Or did Shiro kill his wife or sacrifice his wife for swords? Let's face it, Shiro would do that. He is the sword pervert. What? What does this line mean? Oh, what in the hell? Well, let's continue with the battle. I initiate my prepared blueprint and replicate the swords just by visualizing them. They are really flawed. My swords, which I thought were perfect, are really vague compared to his. My inferior imagination has produced a degraded delusion. Most likely, they will shatter against his swords. Great. We're off to a great start in this battle. Take another step forward. A deliberate, firm step. Rubble crumbles beneath my feet. And the sound seems to declare the start of the duel. Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh. Can you keep up with my replication? The instant your precision drops, you die. Our swords confront each other. An identical pair of weapons. 4 blades overlap as if attracted by magnetic force and clash. Are we interluding? Son of a gun. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice. I'm assuming we're Lancer. Easily tracks his target down. Lancer may seem like he specializes in combat, but he's actually quite skilled at magecraft. We got a Rin to save. He learned to master more than just the Gable in the arcane forest called the Land of Shadows. He is a hero because he learned the 18 primordial runes. Of course, he rarely flaunts his magic skills because, he prefers to fight with spear rather than magecraft. Today is one of those rare occasions. Autumn. He dropped something which had been running on the ground. A rock inscribed with a Berkano rune returns to being a mundane pebble. Its task complete. Who the heck are you? The boy he hadn't seen before stands there in a panic. He didn't see Shinji when he did a test fight against Ryder. The shrill voice sounds familiar. Lancer retracts that thought and realizes who it is. Hey, aren't you Ryder's master? Huh, I thought you kicked the bucket a while ago. Have to fix that. He breaks off. Ren Tasaka is behind the boy. He's tied to a chair. That's fine. He's being held captive, so that makes sense. But several details stand out. What are those details? You really need to say these details aloud, so I know how badly I need to kill Shinji. How much torture I need to put him through before I kill him. First, her chair is tipped over. Since Ren Tasaka is tied to a chair, she's kind of on the ground too. There's sand in her long black hair. And something red around her mouth. Probably cut her lip. It's a sight, but one can make out bruising around her lip. Let me kill Shinji. I don't ask much. Oh, you Lancer. Who sent you here? This wasn't the deal. Casual fist plants Shinji Matao's cheek. Lancer's trivial backhand sends the boy crashing into the wall. I accept this for now. Please do not kill him. I want that. Sorry about that, kid. My hand moved before my mouth did. He looks unconscious, but he's not dead. Granted, if Ren's face had been a little bit paler and her clothes more disheveled, it would not have ended with a knockout. He'd have paid a heavy price. To be clear, Lancer doesn't care about the treatment of prisoners, but he doesn't like when someone else steals his prey. Of course, enemies he kills and women he's fond of both count as his prey. Way to make yourself a little bit creepier, Lancer. Good job. Lancer? Ren Tasaka wanders aloud from her bound position. Her voice sounds a little bit sleepy, as if she were unconscious. It's morning, sleepyhead. Lancer approaches her with an out-of-place greeting. Wait, is this the Einsberg's castle? Yeah, I know, just stay still. Gonna cut your bindings. You can do as you please after that, and it's up to you whether you want to stop those idiots brawling in the hall or just leave out the back door. His crimson spear materializes. Oh, thanks. Lancer behind you. Uh-oh. Ren's warning makes him turn. What? Someone even he didn't expect stands there. In the corner of the room, with firm footsteps, a man walks past where Shinji Matao pancaked into the wall. It's our boy! He's back! Woohoo! That is enough, Lancer. I told you to cooperate with them, but not involve yourself this deeply. Kirai Kodamine, who they thought Lancer Caster had killed. Kirai? Ren yelps in surprise as Lancer glares suspiciously at the priest. Oi, when did you convert to a new religion? I thought my master didn't believe in coming to the front lines. I have no faith to convert from. You are the one who has disobeyed orders, Lancer. I thought I ordered you to eliminate Archer. Did you fail? He'll kill himself whether I lift a finger or not. I came here to wrap up some unfinished business. I was going to ask why you're here, but I assume you put that kid up to this. I don't appreciate such insinuations. We are collaborators, mutual allies working together to obtain the Holy Grail. Shinji Matao moans underneath the rubble. The priest doesn't even spare him a glance. Okay, I figured you wouldn't die that easily. Not only are you persistent as a cockroach, you've been pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Talk about awful taste. Why are you manipulating someone as harmless as Shinji? He's harmless to you, is he? How very like you to say that, Ren. I would have no criticisms of you at all if you were only a slightly less capable apprentice. Priest chuckles. His expression is that of a priest blessing someone on their deathbed. A chill runs down Ren's back. She realizes what her fate is. Her Fate Unlimited blade works? Huh? 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 The priest looks down at his apprentice of 10 years with a saintly smile. Hold on, Kodamine. What are you gonna do with the woman? Did you lie when you said you wanted to help your student? Lancer stands between his master and the girl, glaring. Of course not. She is an important pawn whom I have worked hard to nurture. I can hardly retire her now after deceiving her for the last decade. That is why I assigned you to protect her. It's only extended her life by 2 days, but wouldn't you say that's more than enough parental affection? Priest walks past Lancer to look at the girl sprawled on the floor. Ren glares up at her former mentor. You phony priest. I knew you were capable of anything, but you've actually been a master the whole time? Breaking the rules does not even begin to describe a referee playing the game himself. And yet you are taking this very calmly, Rin. You must have figured it out. Of course I did. The reason I never showed you my servant was because I suspected you. But I didn't think you tricked me from the very start.
The very start? Priest frowns. Seems he wasn't expecting her to say that.
What? You got a problem with that, Kirei?
No. I am just wondering when exactly you mean by the beginning. His lips twist into a sneer. The priest gazes down with a look of true elation.
Wait, Kirei,
do you mean from the beginning of the Holy Grail War? Or are you speaking of the previous war? Then, everything falls into place. Rin's face goes pale and she stares up the man who had mentored her for 10 years with an incredulous look. You killed him? Naturally. He was my master, whom I owed a great deal. I spared no effort in betraying him. There's a grinding noise. The girl staring at the ground, gritting her teeth in anguish.
Forever in limbo! Don't belong!
At her age, she hurls a whole lot of bad words at him. Of course, the priest is unbothered by such trifles. Someone else is taken aback by the girl's sudden fit, however. Shinji never imagined that Rin could bear such emotion, even in his dreams.
Todamine said I'd take Tosako, remember? I'm the only one who still has business with her. You just need to wait at the church for me to wrap things up.
No, I still need her too.
Yeah, Kirei killed Ren's father. I don't remember that in Fate Zero, but it doesn't surprise me. Like, I mean, Kirei and Gilgamesh won last time, so people did die. Ah! Why are you making noises like that? So yeah, I figured there was... If Kirei didn't directly kill Ren's father, he definitely, knew who did it. So yeah. Camp Bros? Oh yeah, the Camp Bros, cool! Are we still froze? Awesome! I actually haven't had this glitch before. I've seen so many of my streamer friends have this problem. Let's see what happens if I do this. Hello? Okay, yeah, camera turned back on. That's cool. I am a true stream on the day of my streamer affiliate. I finally got the camera freezing glitch. It finally happened. I needed to take a clip of that, or at least a screenshot of it, so I can remember what my stupid face looked like.
Shinji doesn't understand what the priest is saying. Only the priest and the girl he intends to sacrifice do. This would be an opportune time to eliminate Archer and Saber. If they offer any unnecessary resistance, it will affect her freshness. We should settle this quickly.
Don't talk about a girl and her freshness. No, don't describe freshness as a person at all. No. Aha! Didn't even know I needed to say that, but apparently I do. The priest steps away from the girl. At this point, it's Kodamina's story, so he's the narrator now. Plus, I'm bad at the Irish accent. No duh. Only Lancer is in front of Rin now, armed with his spear. Kodamine, you little... Dispose of this garbage, Lancer. The vessel does not need a heart. Only Shinji reacts to the words. Rin just glares at the priest, gnashing her teeth. The priest's smile already told her that he is going to die, that she is going to die here. She knows that no help is coming, and that no one would hear her if she begged for help. Though she absolutely refuses to snivel. It is the only form of resistance she can offer, and it represents her defiance. She won't give up until the very end. Help might still come at the last possible second, or a mirage or a miracle might even occur. But the miracle never happened. Like something that destroys the entire room, leaving only her intact. I know it's impossible, though. She won't give up, but she knows what is and isn't possible. That is why she isn't very scared. There's just one thing she is worried about. It's awkward to imagine what face he'll make when he comes to save her. She doesn't want to make him cry. And it her off, thinking that she will make him cry. And she doesn't know how she will apologize for it. Of course she can't apologize if she's dead. Yeah, that last section was Kirai narrating. Nope. It's all Ren. It's all Ren. Ren's the storyteller. Of course she can't apologize if she's dead, but she still doesn't want to make him cry. Sorry, Emiya. Guess I'm tapping out first. But she apologizes now while she still can. Doesn't matter, but at least it makes her feel more at ease. What's wrong, Lancer? Your opponent is a young girl. It should be easy enough to stab her. The priest has no mercy. However, forget it. I'm not playing along this time. If you want me to do it, use a command spell. Lancer answers Rin's enemy with defiance. Lancer face turn again. Let's see how it goes this time. Probably not good. Because there's still kind of a Gilgamesh here. We're kind of still ignoring the Gilgamesh. Don't ignore the Gilgamesh. What? The priest narrows his eyes. Master and servant glare daggers at each other, and the temperature in the room seems to drop. I see. You leave me no choice. I hate to waste a command spell on a task I can do myself, but... He's about to turn on Lancer. That's what's about to happen, I think. The priest lifts his arm, and he activates the command spell inscribed on it. Called it! Frickin' called it! You tried, Lancer. But hey, frickin' Saber was able to fight off a command spell. Was it a command spell that she fought off for like a day? I'm sure Lance will be able to fight this off. No problem. He's not just about to make his own heart explode. I order you to kill yourself, Lancer. Ah, dang it. Nope. No fighting it off. Mm. We get to hear some death rattles. Plus, we haven't heard his voice in a bajillion years, and that was only for like one line, probably. Where are you, Lancer? I already passed you, probably. There you are, buddy. You get to have some death rattles. There we go. Lancer coughs blood, but the red droplets that dribble from his mouth pale in comparison to the torrent of blood rushing from his chest. His murmur can't even be heard. Lancer stabbed himself through the chest with his own spear, destroying his own heart. See, Rin should have saved her jewel for this moment. Screw that Emmy guy. We see what he grows up to be. She could have saved Lancer instead. Goodbye. Your role in this is over. The azure armored spearman collapses to the floor. We're down to 3. It's either Saber, Archer, or Gilgamesh. I did say earlier, one of my biggest, like, I don't want to say fears, is all 3 routes just end up finishing off with, like, Saber and Emiya versus Kotomine and Gilgamesh. I really hope all 3 routes don't turn out to be like that, but it is looking like this is going to be the second route to do that. Like you said, Lancer has the most screen time in this route, but it's still very little compared to the other servants. Yeah. We have, let's face it, there are like 3 main characters, and that is Saber, Gilgamesh, and Archer. Those are our 3 main characters. This route, Caster got a whole lot of love, so I'm happy about that. Route 2, I don't want to say Berserker did, but because Ilya did, Berserker kind of did, but just like Rider, Berserker, Lancer, they're all going to be like, they'll get a little bit of time, but they were never going to get real screen time. I was so pleasantly surprised we got so much from Caster in this route. That did make me genuinely really happy. Pulling Scarlet seeps into the floor. Lancer shows no sign of getting up. He's fallen by his own spear on his master's orders. The priest moves. He approaches Ren with easygoing steps and takes a knee next to her. He reaches out with a hand to the bound girl's chest as if to pluck her heart out. Hey, this isn't the deal, Kotomine. You said I could have Tosaka. The priest glares at Shinji without even answering. You can't. You can't kill Tosaka. I still owe her a lot. I need her alive. Shinji whines, his back to Lancer's corpse. Oh! But his protest dies off. The boy cowers from the priest's severe glance. The priest looks back down at the girl. Any last words? I will hear them out. Simple concession. You know what I'm thinking already? Ren answers in her usual tone. I suppose I do. You won't give up until the end, Rin. At the same time, your ability to instantly accept hard truths is one of your greatest strengths. Very good. That contradiction is quite delectable. He doesn't hesitate. Reese roughly shoves his... Okay, no longer Rin narrating. Generic narrator. Back to Kotomine narrating. The priest roughly shoves his hand into the girl's chest, over where her heart would be. She closes her eyes. Ow!
You got here just in time for the ripping out of a teenage girl's heart by a priest. Welcome in, Harkin. Hope you're having a lovely day. Can't stay to visit, you're at work, but wanted to hop in and wish a happy affiliate. Thank you so much for the affiliate anniversary. Thank you for stopping in at literally about the perfect time. Welcome to Fate Stay Night. We're all happy here. Nothing can possibly go wrong. I love this game. So this is the second girl who has had her heart ripped out. Fantastic. This is definitely the best story path, best timeline. This is bad. There is a stabbing sound. A heart is pierced and blood spills out. What just happened? Did Kodamine just get stabbed? The stone room became a tomb for yet another dead body. Reina's the one who gasps. The floor is drenched in blood. Yeah, who stabbed? Did Shinji stab Kodamine because he wants Rin to himself? Did Lancer have like a last second burst before final death? Or did Gilgamesh just do whatever the heck Gilgamesh wants to do, which, let's face it, is very Gilgamesh? Enjoy your lurk. Thank you for stopping in, Harkin. Mwah. Shout out to Harkin. Harkin does all sorts of fun games. I really love hanging out in his streams. It's a very chill, fun time. I enjoy the RPGs. But recently he's been playing a little bit of the Bayonetta. Who did the stab? Who did the stab? From the floor, Ren looks up to see it's coming from the priest's chest. Ugh. Blood rises up his esophagus. The hole in his chest is obviously a fatal wound. And the thing that stabbed him from behind is none other than the cursed spear, known especially for piercing. The priest feels no emotion. He simply looks at Lancer behind him, blood running from his mouth. Lancer, you! Had to sit here silently for 5 minutes as you feared Kodamine would be the final boss again. Thank you for staying silent. That's the best part. I'm going to say this out loud. I've been rewatching my Phoenix Wright VODs with my buddy The Worst Heroes. I just finished watching the last case of Game 2 all over again. My favorite case in the entire series. And I get secondhand enjoyment listening to myself enjoy the fear and the freaking out and nervousness in Worst voice as he deals with the trauma of how the heck does he keep Maya alive? How does he deal with the On Guard situation? How does he deal with the Adrian Andrews situation? Like, I genuinely love those moments. I'm glad that, Skeeth, that you are getting a semblance of that feeling of just like sitting there enjoying, waiting for the twist to happen. Like, it is why I genuinely love like checking in on people when they're playing like heavy story-based games, visual novel games, just so I could enjoy these moments. Like, I want hey, this is the weekly alert of, hey, play 13 Sentinels. And please stream 13 Sentinels, because I would love to watch people play 13 Sentinels. Same thing with a whole bunch of games like Immortality. I've never seen anyone stream Immortality. I've begged people to play Immortality for years at this point. People play Immortality. I do occasionally enjoy checking in on people playing Phoenix Wright games, because it's just good stuff, but it's like there is like that pleasure of watching people experience the story, watching people put pieces together, watching people come up with completely wrong theories, but them explaining their reasons why. Like, that's the joy of watching someone play a visual novel, watching someone play a story-based game, especially one with a lot of mystery. Hello, the frickin' Zero Escape series, the AI games.
I love these type of games. I love playing them myself. I love that people get to experience that joy, and I love experiencing that joy through other people's games. Goodbye, Kirai. We will date your daughter. We'll date your daughter in the sequel. You can't just drop that on me, Skeeth! You can't do that! What the heck? Yeah, automatically, Kirai's daughter is best girl. That good to know that's already been confirmed. I mean, Kirai is best boy in this game. Lancer's sardonic tone clearly sounds like a bluff. There isn't a hint of vitality in it. Without a heart, his body is starting to fade. He pulls a spear out of Konamine, who collapses lifelessly on the ground. Trained in the arcane, and blessed by the divine, he might have been, but he was still only human. But I hope he has done enough horrible, awful things to warrant being summoned as a servant in some other Holy Grail war, because Kirai rules. Is Kirai summonable in Grand Order? I want to know. Curiosity. There was no surviving a thrust to the heart from Lancer's cursed spear. Lancer leans his crumbling body against a wall. It buys him a little time. After collapsing once, he's bound to disappear for good. Kirai will be summonable on January 31st. Do I need to reinstall Fate Grand Order for a third time? I probably won't. Wait, 2021. Or do you mean 2025? Or he was summonable on 2024? He's lost his heart and his master. The only reason his... Do you mean the wrong month, then? Because it's October of 2024. Unless I'm in a time paradox, or unless you're in a time paradox. I apologize if you're stuck in a time loop of some sort. If you're still stuck in a year before 2024, if you're stuck in like 2020, I'm super duper sorry. That sucks. If you're stuck anywhere between 2016 and 2020, it really, really, really sucks. Fate Grand Order's Japanese schedule is 2 years ahead, so... Oh, you meant December 31st. Alright, good. I can't wait for December 31st. I will maybe look up what the character looks like, because I genuinely really like Kirai as a character. Ah! Nice! Oh yeah, you... Go ahead and kill each other. Shinji? Shinji's cackling brings Rin back to her senses after watching the priest die. What was all that talking about the Holy Grail? You were so useless until the very end, father. Shinji kicks the priest's body. It doesn't move at all, because he's so weak and pathetic he can't even move a dead body. Pleased with himself, the boy kicks the priest's face as hard as he can. It makes a dry crunching noise. The sound and sensation delight Shinji more than he expected. Don't kick Best Boy, no! Don't complain now! I won't hold what you said earlier against you, since it would be pretty lame to talk about a dead man. Shinji snickers. Having lost all reservations, he closes in on Rin eagerly. Sorry to keep you waiting, Tosaka. Everyone keeps getting in the way. But we're finally alone now. There's still 3 more servants, and I'm sure it'll all be over by the time you're tired of crying. Shinji scrambles forward on all fours like a lizard looming over Rin. But I'm glad you're still here.
I'm not finished with you yet. You're such a pain, Tosaka. If you go dying on me, won't that be really unfair for me for being this patient? Come on, make some puppy eyes at me. I might even help you out depending on your attitude. Besides, the Holy Grail is as good as mine. I'll share it with you if you become mine. Unbelievable. Wow, you are really creepy. Even creepier than I thought.
That's not true. This is about as creepy as I assumed he was.
You really are a moron. Tied up and on the ground, Rin scoffs like she's talking to a child. What did you just say? I'm shocked you still haven't learned your lesson, Shinji. Hirai was just manipulating you. Listen to me. You can't handle that servant. Even you should be able to tell because you're close to him. Open your eyes already and quit the death match. It still isn't too late for you. If you don't want to die, get out of here as soon as you can. You're just going to beg for your life, is that it? Oh, you're so dumb, Tosaka. That Kodamine is dead. Who's going to stop me now? Shinji reaches for Ren's body. But the second he does... he goes flying for a second time. You really are an idiot. You didn't want to wait till Lancer was, like, actually disappeared? Like, he had enough energy to murder a priest through the heart. You think he doesn't have the energy to kick your butt? Ugh. Oh, come on, Lancer, you couldn't do another spear? Shinji slams against the wall. How wishful thinking is that? Lancer glances at Shinji and lazily walks over to Rin. What? You're still going to mouth off at me when you're a dead man walking? Spearman stops. He turns and faces Shinji. You could have died peacefully if you'd just taken a dirt nap, and now I'll make it hurt for what you just did. Come on, Gilgamesh. You're up. This guy wants to die like... Look out, we got a over here. Shinji raises his voice. He calls for his servant, the mightiest slayer of heroes. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Are you listening? I said get out here! His voice rings out. The golden servant doesn't appear. The bloody blue spearman takes a step toward Shinji. What the? You're supposed to be dead. Stop trying to look cool and just die. Don't you know how lame you look? Oh, you monster! A strike whips out. Still not as satisfying as Ren or Shiro doing it. This is close to acceptable. Very close to being acceptable. Lancer is stopping an assault he needed to. Heck yeah, of course he needed to. I'm not... Do you hear me complaining what Lancer's doing? Like, I am sad that we don't get to be the one to kill Shinji, but, like, Shinji had this coming. He's stupid. He is so stupid for trying to commit the R word when the still living servant with the heart stab spear ain't disappeared yet. Shinji, you deserve this. I wanted you to be stupid and stay alive long enough that I can kill you, but like I can't do this. Doesn't count as a kill still because Shinji just like walked into it. Like this isn't a kill still. Shinji deserved this death through Lancer because he was just that big an idiot. Oh! A single precise strike, like a flash of light, stabs Shinji in the right shoulder. His scream fills the room. Lancer withdraws his spear, looking bored. He puts his face in front of Shinji. He didn't. Okay. Annoyed he didn't blow his heart up a little bit? Yes, I am. But hey, he has given me the opportunity. He has given Shiro and Rin the opportunity to land the final killing blow. Lancer, you have my eternal gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Also, Sakura. I would accept Sakura giving him the final blow too, but I don't think she's going to do that. Hugging the wall and cowering away from the spear pointed at him, Shinji leaves the room in a mad scramble. With a heavy sigh, Lancer walks back over to Rin. The wind-cutting spear severs her bindings like tissue paper. Thanks a lot, Lancer. Rin thanks him for her freedom. She bows to Lancer, ignoring the filth around them. Suddenly, he collapses limply. Lancer! Rin can't catch him in time. Lancer's too weak to even lean against a wall now, and he slumps to the ground. His legs won't move. His limbs are already long dead. It seems nonsensical that he managed to even stand up, kill his master, and set Rin free. A sudden cough of blood stains his blue armor more. Hold on, I'll close the wounds. Rin rushes over to the bloody spearman, but he stops her with a hand. She can do it! All she has to do is use her super special jewel that— Oh, wait. Dang it, Shiro! Shiro ruins everything again! But— His easygoing tone is the same as it always is. Even seconds away from death, the spearman doesn't change the way he acts. Rin stands up wordlessly. Seeing that, Lancer breathes a sigh of relief, as if a weight was lifted off his shoulders. Yeah, but mine's just hard to deal with, not boring. Where's the fanfiction of Rin summoning Lancer? He chuckles dryly. Then, the spearman urges the girl to leave. He prepares Anzus, the fire rune, in his hand. As soon as he inscribes it on the ground and charges it with all his remaining magic energy, it'll burn the entire room to cinders. Ren understands his determination and turns to leave. Bye, Lancer. I didn't know you long, but I am fond of people like you. You know, blue people. She runs off to the Great Hall.
A hearty guffaw escapes his lip. Flames engulf him. Hey, on the plus side, the maids finally get to be cremated. They aren't just going to sit around and rot. Entire mansion's going to go down. Thank you, Lancer, for actually caring about the maids. Blaze consumes Lancer and his master's body. Not a trace is left behind, like a mirage. The crimson spear and azure armor disappear into the flames. Good death. That was a really good death. Bye, interlude. So I was thinking, there's like, okay, there's no way this lasts. There's no way that this doesn't last another day, but does Bladeworks go to the 15th? We do still have to deal with Gilgamesh. But I now have hope and faith that maybe we'll be able to beat Gilgamesh in the same day, because hey, we're doing everything here now, and Gilgamesh is still wandering around. Identical swords clash. Shiro, Emiya, and the man's attacks are completely equal. Yet each time they clash, my blades break and I'm wounded. I'm cut with each attack that I should have intercepted. My Kancho shatters, and my his Kancho counters my Kancho, and it cuts me open with a sidelong slash. Urgh. I desperately try to avoid the strike, but I suck. Wound isn't fatal, but lacerates my muscles and is probably a critical injury. Ah, son of a... Ah, it. I fight back the pain and try to knock the enemy's Bakuya out of his right hand. All we have to deal with are Archer and Gilgamesh. No big deal. Ah, he shatters my weapons and blocks again. Our swords and skills should be the same, but I am facing a super insurmountable... Why in the world would you think your swords and skills should be on the same level? Do you really think, like, watching him battle a couple of times and making swords in your imaginations like 3 or 4 times now puts you on the level of someone who has done it hundreds and thousands of times and have been a part of winning wars? Shiro! You're an idiot! Did you think that your Kancho could match mine? Your concept of the fundamental points is still lacking. It's only natural that the weapon will crumble if there's no principles behind the structure. Even if the appearance and materials match your visualization, it will collapse if the image doesn't make sense. Simultaneously, he unleashes attacks to cut open my flank and my forehead. Urgh. I'm also... We know who Emiya is. We know what Emiya looks like at this point. We know their similarities. I am slightly disappointed we don't have, like, full body art of Emiya trying to fight with the swords. I immediately projected a pair of swords to parry with. I have a headache so bad it blinds me. It isn't from the burden of projection. It's the headache from before. The hunch I had when I was looking for Tosaka. The fever I get every time I face him. This time is the greatest burden yet, and it's driving my body crazy! I fend off slash after slash. I attempt to cut him down in return. And each time, the red headache burns my eyes. Is it the contradiction of Shiro, Emiya, and the heroic spirit existing at the same time? And since the moment we recognize each other, my body is felt off every time we've met. I traced his swordsmanship and even acquired his replication skills. Makes sense, I picked it up quickly. After all, his skills are the most optimal combat techniques for Shiro Emiya that have been honed over years of experience. How can I not take to him quickly? I'm trying to catch up to him. I have learned things about my future self that I really shouldn't have. My eyes go numb. Each swing of the sword, each shower of sparks creates a flash of light. My skills cannot keep up, and each attack dyes my vision red. I wouldn't mind if that's all it was. My body is already torn to shreds. Headache is nothing compared to the feeling of having my stomach torn open with a branding iron. I'm counting it. I don't know if it's metaphorical, but when you word it like that, I gotta count it. Plus, we've been slashed a million times. Surely one of them is in the belly. Problem is, the headache will not stop as long as there's something else to draw out from him. That's 5. You should be reaching your replication limit. I know your magic energy capacity all too well. You look like you have 3 left. I went to the trouble of showing you all of that, but you still have the wrong idea. I hear a hint of disappointment in his taunts. The wrong idea? Why are we theory crafting right now? Kind of in sword fight to death. More importantly, I need to do something about the headache. Saber, can you toss me some ibuprofen, some Tylenol? Maybe it's a sinus headache. Maybe some Mucinex? Some Sudafed. Ooh, Sudafed would be some good stuff. I could really use some of the good stuff right now. Anyway, it's impossible even if you've reached it. The current Shiro Emiya cannot generate enough magic energy. Yes, either way. My headache worsens. He brandishes his sword as if to settle the score once and for all. You never had a chance of winning this. And he brings his sword down on my head in a crisscross. Crisscross applesauce! Yeah! I raise my sword to defend and they shatter. Body goes numb. That sucks. It's flowing in. So, this right now, this is even scarier than the pain. I see his memories. The reason he changed so much, I'm seeing fragments of the events that Shiro Emiya will experience in the future. I don't know if they're right or if they're wrong, and I'm sure nobody can be the judge of that. Beautiful things were ugly and ugly things were beautiful. Objectively, there was nothing repulsive about them. So what made him go astray? Sophistry? I don't know that word. Misrepresentation, treachery, narcissism. Those make up most of what I saw. We are about to hit an ad break, so I'm going to use this occasion to go take an anti-hydration break. Because we're about to get into poem time. Be right back, and we will read a really fun poem. Later. wanted to get some stretches in too. Looks like the ad only just started 30 seconds ago. Whoopsie. Oh well. Erk. Erk. Let's get ready to do this. Ow. Ow. Let's do this. I am the bone of my sword. And yet he didn't seem to mind. He swore oaths, had ideals to uphold. He didn't care what he lost. Even if others betrayed him, he believed that there would be a future as long as he didn't betray himself. If he never complained or even showed himself getting hurt. Steel is my body and fire is my blood. And to the people around him, he was no different than a machine. He was useful to have around, so they used him. They only saw him as a tool. But even a machine can have ideals to uphold, so he accepted being treated as a convenient tool. I have created over 1,000 blades. Unknown to death, nor known to life. It wasn't something he could tell anyone else. The more he failed to save people and the more people he killed, the less he could profess his ideals. Yay, it is a happy affiliate anniversary. How are you doing, Verse? Thank you for stopping in, buddy. We are going to learn the true meaning of this chant today. Yeah, as far as I understand, like, the chant, I assume it is, like, some sort of magical incantation, but it's just, like, I interpreted, like, the poem as, like, he is a forge. But it's like, we'll see if it has, like, a deeper meaning, if, like, the actual incantation means something more. We'll see. Hello, Bird. Bird, you have blessed us as we are approaching the end game. We got a lot of stuff going on. I doubt we're finishing today, but at this rate, I think we're going to finish next time. But finish this route next time. But we'll see. Eventually, his only option was to stick to them as resolutely as he could. And it should be noted, I probably only got the affiliate anniversary as early as I did. I think I got affiliate within like 3 months of starting on Twitch. But one of the reasons is because Worst rated me during, I think it was Great Ace Attorney. And we got so many viewers from that raid because it was like his birthday stream or something. It was some big stream. But just like the raid from that was so big, along with like other raids I had gotten in recent days, it was enough to get me to affiliate. I will always be grateful to Worst and everyone who helped me out then. Just got out of the long hot shower. How are you? I am doing good. I had Zoom calls for the first part of the day. They went very smoothly. And, pretty much just been getting ready to play this for the rest of the day. Had myself a nice PB&J sandwich. Opened up a new jar of some apple jelly. Ooh, mwah. Apple jelly. Highly underrated jelly. Also, we've had like 3 stabbings today and had multiple hearts explode. It's been a good stream so far. And we're having a crisis of conscience because, spoiler alert for the Unlimited Blade Works story arc, Shiro Emiya is fighting his future self. Yay! The result, Shiro Emiya failed to uphold his ideals he dreamed about even once, and learned that he was a nuisance spouting foolish drivel. Have withstood pain to create weapons. Okay. Oh! Look. This was his fate. Fate stay night. Eh? Eh? So that looks like it sucks. That looks like he got in a fight with Gilgamesh. I'm assuming because of the blood. If there wasn't blood, I would assume, oh, he just made swords in like the most awkward way possible.
Look, this is where you will end up.
My heart breaks. Don't feel sorry for him, he's a jerk. Don't feel sorry for him, don't feel sorry for him. Don't feel sorry for him, but my heart feels like it's gonna break when I know that this is the path that awaits me.
Yay, timelines! Yet those hands will never hold anything. Everything you believed in, everything you believe in, after you were shown that it was all a lie and a fanciful dream, you still...
Oh yeah, I'm fighting. We clash again. This time he's coming straight for my heart, not with a dual sword, with some sort of spike-like sword. That's cheating. We're supposed to only be using regular swords. Look. I retreat to get some distance. I'm holding the sword I made up at the spur of a moment. I'm fighting against a tummy ache. What did I just see? Ah, forget it. Let's just take all of that trauma and stick it over here for a little while. We don't need to deal with any of that. Just need to defeat him now. I cannot afford to dwell on anything else.
I miscalculated. I have heard of evocations where the user is possessed by a previous life to learn past skills. Looks like your skills are being sharpened each time we fight.
Yeah, let's go with that. Panting, I ready myself for the next strike.
Meaning that you're drawing more out of me than just projection. Look at your face. You look absolutely miserable. You must have seen it.
He holds his breath. Don't make me say it. Don't make me remember. If you tell me what I just saw, then make this faster then. It is all true, Shiro Emiya. The red cloak flutters. In an instant, he closes the gap and thrusts the spike at me. My weapon is destroyed in one blow. A sword I hastily projected for the first time can't hold up against his weapons. And yet, he throws aside his weapon while I'm unarmed. The next projection is Durandal, said to be the Sword of Conquerors, and the sword from Fire Emblem 6 and 7 that Eliwood can wield. And it gives him a unique sprite on his horsey. I skip 4 counts and instantly project a replica of his weapon. Of course, mine sucks and breaks. Oh, I've fallen and I can't get up. This seems bad. This seems so bad that maybe Merlin can make me feel better by the fact that we're about to die. Hey, buddy. What you doing? Merlin! You get to pay the stream tax. We get to see the kitty. Hello, everyone. It's Merlin again. What you want to do? You want to roll around on the floor? Want to lay on the bed? What you got in mind? Merlin's got big plans, probably. Very brilliant kitty. Probably. Thank you for your plans not being bite me. I always appreciate when that's not the plan. Oh, I was pushed back and fell onto some rubble. Ah, dang it. Ow! And then I'm surprised. Just that fall was enough to stain the rubble red. Ah! I just never noticed that my body is dead, both inside and out. I'm a zombie! Woohoo! We're going to play Walking Dead now! We're doing this for Lee and Clementine! Enough! You appear here like a fool, even knowing that you cannot win.
You have been a prisoner to ridiculous ideas your entire life. And you're a fake. Who doesn't have a will of his own? Do you understand who you really are now? His voice resounds. I have a lot of wounds. So many wounds that I could probably give myself multiple disempowerment counts, but I'm only counting one. We're up to 16 people. Each of them is deep enough to sink a finger into. I am really screwed, but this is oddly satisfying. Ugh. Ugh. Someone like that doesn't deserve to live. I guarantee it, Shiro Emiya's life is worthless. Your emotion of wanting to save others is fundamentally wrong. You're a defective fake that should have never existed. I don't have much magic left. Make matters worse, my circuits are burning. They have been burning since yesterday's projection, actually. Something that was about to break is now super broken. But my body says, you can still fight. I've just been playing tough, pretending that my broken heart is whole. So, I need to stand up, and I need to beat him up. It is futile. I am your ideal self. You should know by now you cannot win against me. I put consciousness into circuits. Nerves splinter and scream. Within myself I weave together 8 counts without skipping a beat. Trace on! I get his dual swords, Kanshao and Byakuya. A pair of masterwork swords forged by an ancient smith. I swing and I'll keep attacking over until I burn out. Dual swords need dual swords to intercept him. He switches back weapons and then defends. Of course you'd refuse to accept it. As long as I am your ideal, Shiro Emiya has to reject me more than anyone. His calm words just really me off. He just keeps quipping at me while I can hardly breathe. Ah, you! I attack desperately. Ugh. He locks our swords together without even parrying me. I'm being pushed back. There's a vast gap in strength, and I do not have a chance of winning. Then answer me this, Shiro. Do you really want to become a hero of justice? For an instant, sudden question kind of makes my mind go blank. Don't know if that's the question or the lack of blood, lack of magic, lack of a lot of things. Who am I? What kind of question is that? I don't want to be one. I will become one. I put my muscles into it and glare at him. And he answers. That's right. You have to become one. Because that's the only emotion Shiro Emiya feels. Cannot deny or reject it. Even if it isn't a desire that came from within yourself. Heart-wrenching words stop me in my tracks. But the desire that didn't come from within me. I deny it before I even consider what that means. I can't let him make me say it. I can't realize what he means. Deep down, I know that if I comprehend what he means, Shiro Emiya's foundation is going to crumble away. Ah, it looks like you have started to sense it. Perhaps you realized it right away and desperately tried to distance yourself from the memory. I can't even recall it anymore. No. I clamp my lips shut. I don't want to know. I know that I shouldn't know. I finally realized that I have to know it. The Shiro Emiya's paradox. The answer to what my mistake was, and what is wrong with me. Are we going to get a satisfying answer here? I don't have your memories anymore. But I still remember that scene. An inferno as far as the eye could see. The dense odor of death. Desperately begging for help and the emotion of being saved. Hiritsugu Emiya looked of profound relief when he rescued me. I'd accepted my death and my heart was empty. Then someone saved me. My rescuer smiled at me with tears in his eyes. I saw that, I thought that he looked so happy. Yeah. You didn't have survivor's guilt for being the only person to be rescued. You simply looked up to Kiritsugu Emiya. You thought that you wanted to be like him because he looked so happy when he rescued you. Right. Back then I wasn't the one who was saved. I consider a thought that I'd been avoiding. If Kiritsugu caused the fire, then his guilt would have been unbearable. It was a tragedy without a single survivor. Kiritsugu must have searched for survivors like a man possessed. Then he found one, when none were expected. Found a child that should have been beyond helping, who should not have been alive. What a miracle it must have felt like. But I understood that he saved me. I didn't know his circumstances. Good enough for me that someone rescued me from that hell. Even if that emotion was directed at himself, his will to save me and the earnestness of wishing for someone to be saved were all genuine. That was enough. It was enough for me that Kiritsugu Emiya saved me after I'd become nothing. That's why it's only natural for a child to look up to his parents. You took it too far. If you only wanted to be like Kiritsugu, or become what he wanted to be, that would have been enough. But he left you that curse. I don't need to say it. Do I? It means everything. Your dream, huh? That was the answer. A man even emptier than me heard my innocent words, entrusting his wish to me in relief, and passed away. From that moment on, Shiro Emiya had no choice but to become a hero of justice. My own feelings didn't matter. All I needed to do was just become the person I looked up to for the sake of someone I looked up to when I was young. The wish for everyone to be happy was an impossible one. It came from Kiritsugu, not me. Must have realized it by now, Shiro. Your ideals are borrowed. They are an imitation of what Kiritsugu failed to become, and what he believed was right. This makes some things make sense.
I've been saying for a while now that my theory is that Shiro Emiya is a guardian. Even not this future Emiya. My theory was that child Emiya was a guardian who was created by the world. in that fire to help save the world. But this speech makes me go back. Maybe he was just a kid. He was just a kid, and like the reason I thought that is like we literally have I don't think in the entire game we ever saw Emiya say a single word about his life from before the flames, before Kiritsugu. I don't remember him ever saying anything about any parents, any family he had, any friends he had, neighbors he had. I assume that because he never talked about them, he just didn't have them because they didn't exist for him. But no, like, he just stopped being who that person was and just became Kiritsugu Emiya's son. Became the person who just looks up to Kiritsugu and does nothing else. Alright. Okay. I grit my teeth and I desperately try to bolster my breaking heart. Yet, a hero of justice. Don't make me laugh. There's no way that the desire to live for others, which you've repeated countless times, came from yourself. Because, like, the only pre-Kiritsugu memory we have is Emiya, like, walking over others. Walking over their corpses. At his core, that is what this Emiya is saying. That is who you are. You're at your core, the very heart of the person who Shiro is. Not Shiro Emiya, Shiro, the person who was born on this earth. He is someone who will walk over the corpses of others to survive in the end. Hero of justice is the mask. No matter how many times he tries, he cannot become that. That is what this Emiya is saying. But it's a mask that Shiro has to have because probably really hates that other person. Probably hates who he really is. Hopes if he tries to be the hero of justice enough, he will become it. And this Emiya is saying that doesn't happen. His blades cut through the air. His swings, filled with reproach, rain down on me with an unprecedented aggression. What was that face? I don't think we've seen that still yet. As I watch a raging flurry of blows, I accept that I will die here just like I did 10 years ago. Impact after impact pounds me down. Once beautiful swordsmanship had deteriorated into brutal force. My left arm trembles after blocking the strikes. The shock of it had broken my fingers holding the sword. Scourge up every bit of mental focus I have to create a Kanshu. And it just barely deflects another slash. He's got me. This first assault already pushed me to near death. I won't survive his next barrage. But somehow my heart is broken, and my body denies him with all my might. It screams he's wrong. Like a part of me earnestly feels that it's wrong to admit that he's right and to just let myself die here. Look up. My eyes aren't working. They don't see my enemy. They only replay his memories. Within them, there's an image of me huddled up like a turtle in a shell, trying desperately to survive. I hear more than the sounds of blades clashing. It's him. With each attack, he berates himself. There we go. That's a lovely still, and Merlin wants to leave the room. Alright, let's get out of here, buddy. Thanks for the visit. Love you. Ow. Ooh, this is fun. This is some good trauma. That's right. You looked up to his wish to save people because it was all nice and pretty. I take his sword strike again and again. Baki was broken, Khonshu was my last lifeline. That ideal never sprung from you. If that isn't hypocrisy, then what is? Khonshu breaks. My life begins to peter out. The chest hurts. Shiro's Emiya's heart is torn apart, not by the waterfall of sword strikes, but by Archer's words. You were driven by the obsession to live your life for others. You keep running, never feeling like you were suffering or realizing you were failing. Denial after denial, with each rejection I lose my will to fight. My body already wants to retire, unable to take the physical shock. Yet, that very same body keeps denying him desperately. But you're just a hypocrite. A hypocrite can't save anything. You don't even know what you're supposed to be saving. Sent flying, I sail through the air, not unlike during the encounter with Berserker. I plant my feet. His blows threaten to send me tumbling into the rubble as I stand my ground with all my might. My body knows. It is stubbornly refusing to fall because it knows I can't get up again once it does. I plant broken Khonshu in the ground and use it to support my weight. I pitch forward, nearly falling over. I can't get up. I brace myself with Khonshu with both hands, holding on like a walking stick. I must look pathetic. From the side, I might even look like I'm kneeling before him. Your ideals are morally bankrupt. The ideal of valuing others over yourself, of wanting everyone else to be happy, is a fantasy. A fairy tale. If you can't live without clinging to that dream, let it drag you to your death. My life isn't worth living. No. He said that my entire life is worthless. My weapons are gone. It's futile to stand up. He doesn't even look winded, much less wounded. Duel is decided. No. It was from the very beginning. There's no way Shiro Emiya could ever match up with the heroic spirit Emiya. This is wrong too. If the gap in our ability was truly that large, then this scuffle wouldn't even happen. My heart that lost this fight. Weak because I realized that I'm wrong and I just accepted he's right. I lost on that front because what? Because my body is protesting that it won't lose to you. Why else? Why else would it get stronger every time you dismissed my ideals as fake? Shut up! It's a load of I can reach him. I know I can. If my weapons are broken, just use them as they are. If everything I have is broken, then I will mobilize everything that I don't have. If I haven't lost, then there are still depths that I have yet to reach. My headache throbs again. I see his scenery for the last time. I can't understand him, but I think I can learn from him.
He's a hero whose incantations express and judge himself. I can't understand the will behind those words, but I will accept them in your place. My body, I chant the verse loud and proud. Emiya's own words hurt him. He accepted that and chose to kill me. That's all he wanted at the end of his long journey. And just as you deny me, I will strike you down if it's the last thing I do. My body is made of swords. I whisper it without thinking. I look up. On the verge of death, I stand up to him. Swallow a glob of blood that was blocking my throat. The once fading Yang sword Khonshu was cloaked in a concrete image once more. You still... That's right! You say this is a dream? I've always known that. But I kept believing it because I think it's right! Each line of the chant has a second meaning. I and the bone of my sword is, my body is made of swords. Kinda literal. I followed in Kiritsu's footsteps because it's a dream that won't come true, and it's an impossible ideal. Even if it never comes true. If I keep running, I'll get close to it. A sheath. Still protects you even with the contract cut. I ready my sword. Yeah. I don't know if it's protecting me. Is it protecting you? I don't care about that. Right now, I won't lose to you. I can lose to anyone else. I will never lose to myself. Need to keep being Shiro Emiya till the very end. We got an image of Shiro fighting! What I wanted! It's an unbelievable fight between swords. He charges in despite being fully wounded. His fingers are broken, his limbs are shredded. He hasn't even realized he's not breathing anymore. The speed is insignificant and the blows he delivers are mediocre. He may have absorbed Archer's knowledge and advanced to the point where he can fight him. But he's back to being a boy again. Just needed the confidence before we got the image. I just wanted the image. I would have been really annoyed if we went through, like, especially this route for this journey that Shiro's going on and not have a full body image of Shiro fighting. He executes haphazard, mediocre attacks. And yet, that first blow is heavier than any of the other attacks before. What? Apathy turns to astonishment. His sword seems to shout. The boy swings a long sword faster than his opponent ever imagined. Where is this power coming from? The vigor of their class reaches an unprecedented pitch. Ah, you! Man cannot even pivot to defense. Each attack is lethal enough to take his head. He judges that this situation must be taken seriously and moves his swords accordingly. Up, down, left, right, B, A, start. The 4 slashes unleashed in an instant are enough to cut the boy to ribbons. But he manages to block him. Nah, the boy launches a bladed tempest that overcomes the fourfold technique. He wields his long sword with swift skill. You little! Man senses he must attack or be cut down. Longsword assails its dying enemy. The boy swings his sword full-heartedly. The two sides struggle. Sparks fill the air, declaring that any who enter the ring will be torn apart. This should be the dying spark of a walking corpse. With each attack, the boy's breathing becomes more labored and he looks closer to collapse. So he takes another step and attacks again. Haven't seen this. The man does something. His enemy doesn't have any strength left. The boy in front of him is a walking corpse. And yet why does the boy continue to wield the sword as if he has infinite strength? It's as though he has unlimited blade works. He isn't conscious of it. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing, nor can tell if his attacks are working. Cries out, his muscles are begging for oxygen, and they demand that he stop due to the lack of blood. But he pushes through it all. After all, swords don't need blood to move. Using brute force. Mistake. Only one thought occupies his mind. His feelings are fake. Just like this guy says. He probably can't become a hero of justice. As long as Shiro Emiya looks up to that goal, he's gonna reach the same destination as this man. Not a mistake. But he felt it was beautiful. He knew that it was hypocritical to value others over himself. Still, he longed for such a life, wondering how nice it would be to live that way. The only motivation driving his body forward on the verge of death. There we go. It's super blurry, but we gotta look at the boy. Our hero is doing hero things, finally. Can't hear what his enemy is saying. He speaks to how fierce the clash is and how meek his foe's voice is. Looking closer, the boy's hands gripping the sword have melded with the hilt. He must have done it to secure the sword, but by doing that, he will directly feel the impact of the sword. He's bloody, and it will take a single step back. He will pitch over. He's Edward Elricking it. He's making his arm his sword. The boys accepted that each swing of the sword will be hellish suffering. It irritates the man, but he takes it. It seems to offend his stubbornly persistent enemy, but he's just as irritated with himself for not backing down when he knows that even one step back could end this. But how could he retreat now? There's no room for parley now, and he is in a pitched duel with his enemy. It'd be shameful to turn his back to the childishly forged sword, and it would be utterly humiliating to not meet the attack head on. All it would take for his enemy to destroy himself is for the man to retreat one step. But he sensed that he'll have conceded something decisive if he backs down now. Soon, this worry will fade. His enemy is at his limits. 3 more attacks. If he repels 3 more attacks, his enemy will destroy himself. Flicks his tongue at his own foolishness. Just earlier, he thought the boy had 2 attacks left, and then he delivered more than 10. This boy isn't going to fall. The boy's voice is inaudible at this point. The boy is on the brink of death, frantically going up against the obstacle before him. And he sees him. He looks upon him with his own eyes for the first time. I keep swinging my sword until I reach my foe, with arms ready to fall off. The only thing that can be heard is a strained yell. That shout is the price I pay for each exchange of blows. There are people who won't be saved, and myself who wasn't saved. Memories come unbidden. I swore I would never let this happen again. Not a mistake! How many years have passed? There were things that were lost, things I lost. There will always be things that I forget and fail to pick up. That is why I made an oath I won't forget. Become a hero of justice to always do what's right. Even if it isn't my own wish, even if it's just a way to lighten my own sins, I will keep that oath. I'll make the dream come true.
When I was young, someone saved me and trusted me with his dream and passed away alone. I believe in the wish behind his words. Even if the whole world shuns me and the oath turns into a curse, I'm not giving up. And then, man realizes there is no end to the repeating conflict. This enemy will not stop. The enemy will not stop on his own. This enemy makes each attack with desperate abandon, and he isn't even aware of who he's fighting. The boy's trying to cut down himself. He's the one who's doing the obstructing. The man's enemy is swinging his sword for everything he's believed in and everything he will continue to believe in. Realizing that, the man gnashes his teeth. He sees the boy keep fighting, even if he knows he can't win, even if he knows there is no point. That is the same mistake the man once made. Why? Why does he want to see how far the boy is ready to go? That's enough! Die! He raises his longsword. The enemy's attack can no longer be trifled with. He repels the attacks and counters with strikes that meant to crush his enemy's skulls for certain. Archer's starting to turn. Archer sees that despite everything, he's not giving up. He's forgotten. He doesn't. He said himself, he doesn't remember his life. He's starting to remember how stubborn he is. I think he's starting to remember why those ideals mean so much and why he's fighting. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe not. Who knows? Who knows what Archer's feeling? A high-pitched sound of metal. The boy repels what should have been a decisive blow. He couldn't even stop one until now. But he easily defended against a strike delivered with a man's full might. He holds his breath. The enemy flicks his sword and resheathes it in a single large stamp. I love that these sections that we are seeing from Archer's perspective, like he's not calling him Shiro Emi in his head. He has to call him the enemy in his own head every single time. But his eyes, they're looking straight at him. The impact breaks one of my limbs. Ow! Sense of pain isn't numb. Pain is enough to knock me out. But I am rushing through this. I am super dehydrated. Good point. Time to hydrate, buddy. If we turn our arm into a sword, make sure you stay hydrated, because maybe that'll help. I don't know. I don't know how swords work. Do you water swords? I guess we're watering swords now. I can't afford to lose liquid. The enemy's left arm is wide open. I have lost one side of my body, so this will have to be the last blow. That thought is not entering my head. All I can think of is... He slashes with a longsword in an effort to protect his exposed left chest. He can make it. It would be easy to close the distance. This is the last chance. It wasn't a mistake. It is the only thought in my head. Even if Shiro Emiya is fake, that's real. Wants everyone to be happy. It's an ideal that everyone's felt, I'm sure. I'm not taking it back, because this dream will always be. His gaze is straight. Mistakes and lies. He shakes off everything that pierces him, and he continues to run without stopping. It was never a mistake! The words drive straight into his chest. The attack comes, fueled by a hell-bent determination. There's enough time to block it. But the gears never turn in his head. The battle draws to an abrupt close. Got him! And with that, we've killed the last servant. There are no more issues, nothing to fear. We've solved everything. Everything is great.
hears the sound of a blade piercing his chest. The surprised one is, of course, the Red Knight, who will bet everything on a desperate attack, though he would expect to defeat his opponent. Can't afford to make any other choice anyway. So it was the knight who was surprised. Truly. Wonders why he didn't defend against an attack that would have been really easy to stop. I'm about to collapse. I lean on my good right leg. Good leg. Really good leg. I like you, leg. I drove Kancho into Archer's chest. Why Archer? Why Archer? Has she been watching the whole time? Oh wait, no, Saber. Saber asks a question from the entrance of the hall. Archer doesn't answer. Maybe he feels he doesn't need to, or maybe he doesn't have the answer. My fingers are numb. Broken fingers. They can't hold sword. The Red Knight's not moving. I have stabbed him in the chest, but he's still a servant? Are you dead, dude? Please tell. You can say yes, it's cool. But his arms remain at his side. He shows no sign of movement. I know what that means. I win, Archer? I win! Ah! I fix my gaze on him and declare victory. I win, Archer. The Red Knight closes his eyes once and admits it. Yes. I lose. Stares into the distance. His murmur sounds like it was meant to convince himself. I pull out the sword, and the moment my projected sword touches the air, it turns into dust. Finally look around, tension drain. What a wreck. Lacerations look like they're healing, but in some places they're turning into a reddish-black color. Archer said something about Saber's sheath. I wonder how it decides what to heal first. Saber's sheath. What is? We haven't discovered that in this round. What is a sheath? Heals the cuts right away, but broken bones seem to be a lower priority. Ow. So why the heck has the sheath activated? Have we accidentally reformed the contract with Saber somehow? Oh, I hear footsteps. Someone's coming, and she's on the second story. Ow! She hears her jumping down and hugs herself in the pain of the fall. You really shouldn't have jumped down that far. That's stupid. That's a Shiro thing to do. Shiro, are you... Dude's not okay. Wait, Archer, why are you beat up? Tosaka raises her voice to match the distress. Lancer rescued her. Yay, good guy Lancer. Plus, I'm kind of amazed to see that she's actually alive. She can't decide if she wants to check if I'm okay or be upset at Archer. You truly are naive. If only you'd been a slightly more ruthless person, I wouldn't have gone back to being my old self. The Red Knight's words are sarcastic, but I can only hear warmth behind them. After giving Tosaka a look, he turns on his heel as if to leave the stage. Anyway, the matter is settled. Now that I have accepted you, the hero Emiya cannot stay any longer. The loser should depart quickly. We're not going to have two Shiros much longer. Bye, hero Emiya. He isn't even going to say goodbye to Tosaka? That's like super rude. Man, I hate this guy. He's heavily wounded and he doesn't have a master. Is he going to disappear here and return to where other heroic spirits come from? Son of a gun! It all happened in an instant. Come on! A lethal attack just as I began to relax and enjoy my slowly healing broken bones.
Swords rain down, and it sucks. I hit the ground. Someone pushes me, and I fall backwards. Shoved a meter away from where I am. I could only watch. Yep. It was from Gilgi. Good old Gilgamesh. My broken limbs can't support my body. I am too weak to even stand up. Instead, all I can do is watch another version of me get skewered before my very eyes. Maybe I need to start going to therapy. Nah. Who's there? Saber's challenge breaks the silence. Her voice is directed at the second floor at the top of the broken stairs. I rather enjoyed that. It was truly a pathetic fight between two fakes. Hi, Gilgamesh. We're playing the final boss music now? We're doing this now? Okay, we're doing this now. Alright. Okay. Archer? It's been 10 long years, Saber. I meant to come see you sooner, but plans changed. Unforeseen accidents just kept popping up. You see, and they threw off my calculations. It's Gilgamesh, the servant who defeated Berserker and then killed Ilya. He ignores Saber's glare and looks down at me and Archer. Do you understand the weight of the... Nope. Ha! Do you understand the weight of the genuine article now? No matter how similar in appearance and the strength it might be. A forgery is a forgery. It can never reach the brilliance of the original. He raises his hand as if about to command an army. The mere sight of a fake's counterfeits offend my sight. You scum! You lack even a single genuine work on your hoard. Ha ha! Fakes who can only copy the work of others should be disposed of like the trash that you are. Everyone's standing on the stairs today, and I love it. He unleashes more noble phantasms. Ow! An unavoidable torrent falls. I count just under 30 of them. Even if I was still in one piece, nothing I can do to defend myself from that! Dust fills the air and the hall collapses even further, rocked by explosions. And in the middle of it all, I see him. A fluttering red cloak. He runs towards me looking like a pincushion and gives me another shove. Why is everyone shoving me today? I watch his red figure fade in the distance. His eyes convey a firm message. You defeat him. He tells me that since he lost to me, apparently I'm going to be a hero of justice. That's the villain I gotta beat. A cloud of dust blocks out my vision, and the red cloak sinks into the rubble. I'm sure I saw him before he left. His confident eyes declare, this servant is no match for us. It won't be Saber or Tosaka who defeats him. My other self tells me Shiro Emiya is the Golden Servant's natural enemy. Let's do this. My vision clears up. A layer of dust settles in the hall and now covered in a new layer of rubble. Huh. Nothing else happens. Red Knight disappeared after he was buried under the rubble. What a surprise, Archer. So you still had enough... What? Wrong one? What a surprise, Archer! You still had enough in you to protect someone with those wounds! His tone is filled with derision and irony. The man's lips curl into a smirk as he looks down at Archer's bloody remains. Alright. I know we're supposed to be dueling and stuff, but Saber, I would not be opposed to an assist on this one, at least until my bones aren't as broken. Silence falls. Gilgamesh is the strongest being in this place now, and one wrong move and we are just going to follow Archer. Saber's lips are tightly sealed. She's watching for a chance to strike. However, Who gave you permission to touch my Archer? Tosaka loses her temper after losing Archer. Light fills through the air, and Tosaka charges a jewel with as much energy as she can and fires a pure destructive energy without any modifications. And Gilgamesh doesn't even try to dodge. The attack does not leave a scratch on him. See, just like the regular clothes is even better than the frickin' golden armor. Like, the golden armor, like, he had to... It got cracked by some pretty magical weapons, so...
I was going to finish off the stubborn survivor first, but you changed my priorities, woman.
The swords floating behind him sentence Tosaka to death. They hurtle towards her at high speed, but Saber arrives even faster to deflect them. Saber?
Get back, Ren. This man is dangerous. He will kill you if you attack him. Oh, so that girl's your master now. Very well, I will pardon your impudence. It would hurt my entertainment to lose Saber now.
Saber just glares at our enemy, her invisible sword at the ready.
What are you doing here, Archer? You were summoned in the previous Holy Grail War. How are you still in the mortal world? It's very simple. I stayed behind after the last war ended. That's impossible. Servants lose their connection to this world once the Holy Grail disappears. You cannot remain for 10 whole years. Not necessary to begin with. Our anchor to the world isn't the Holy Grail, but our masters. And the Grail is no more than the path we take to get here. Once it is gone, we can stay in this world as if a mage supplies us with magic energy. Of course, no master could sustain a servant without the support of the Holy Grail. On this point, my vessel did lack magical energy. Regardless, you couldn't have stayed if your master couldn't support you. You would have been exhausted along with your summoner. There are ways. Some mages can make up for their lack of a magic circuit with knowledge. On that note, my master happened to be a particularly enterprising man. Past tense, so his master is no longer alive? No, Shinji's his master. The fact that the ungovernable Gilgamesh was following Shinji's orders is proof enough of that. Then your master is the same person Ryder was contracted to? Yes! If he can't supply me with magic energy, then I take it from others, of course. But as it turned out, I didn't even need to bother. I was the only servant to bathe in the Holy Grail 10 years ago. I was incarnated in a flesh and blood body that allows me to remain here.
Saber stares at him in shock. The mention of 10 years ago seems to pain her.
That is right. That's right! It's all thanks to you, Saber! I know better than anyone what that thing is. After all, I was submerged in its depths and saw what was inside of it.
Enjoy the ad break that's about to happen any second now.
So back then you... Yes, I understood the true nature of the Holy Grail. And that's when I decided I should be the only one to handle it.
He speaks to Saber. No, the Golden Servant's decree is directed to all of us.
You'll use the Holy Grail? I will. I have no obligation to share it with parasites such as masters. I will use the Holy Grail for my own purposes. The greatest obstacle, my summoner, is now gone. He left behind a mage unfit to even be a vessel. That failure is quite suitable for my wish. With your flesh, of course, I might be able to make a more complete Holy Grail.
The man eyes Tosaka. Tosaka shrinks away and goes a little pale, realizing how dangerous he is. His red eyes are ominous beyond comparison. Anyone could feel intensely uncomfortable under their gaze. His eyes are so bizarre that they even scare the unflappable Tosaka. That's bad. That cannot be. Masters acquire the Holy Grail. We servants work with masters because we cannot obtain it ourselves. That is actually the strange thing about it, you see. Why is it that only masters can acquire the Holy Grail when the servants can touch it? But, yay, we're going to actually get an answer to this by the look of it. It's all a farce. 7 masters fighting over the Holy Grail. Only the last surviving master performs the ritual to obtain the Holy Grail. We are getting revelations. We're finally getting to, like, the mechanics of how the master-servant Holy Grail wish-fulfilling dynamic. We're finally getting some answers to how that works. I'd love to see that. That's all a pretext to hide the truth. The Holy Grail has already been summoned. Every time the mages prepare it and then summon 7 servants. Do you understand yet, King and Knight? What they need is not the Holy Grail, but something to fill it with. The Masters are only a conduit to summon us. The mages who created this ritual cannot supply the contents of the Holy Grail. Didn't I just say it earlier? They can't provide the energy on their own, so they must take it from others. They need magical energy of the highest purity to fill that Holy Grail. So they sought the most powerful souls of the prime species, also known as Guardians. It seems that the 7 servants were always meant to be sacrifices to the Holy Grail. What? Saber stares at him in shock. Her eyes are trying to deny his words. It can't be true. The Holy Grail I sought can't be something this abhorrent. She seems to be telling herself that. Hardly something to be surprised about. The Holy Grail is a strainer for souls. It takes the power which cannot be controlled except by the owner of the soul and converts it into pure magic energy. You could indeed grant a wish using that, and as far as the mages are concerned, it is an inexhaustible source of magical energy. Thus, the more sacrifices there are, the better. One could well call it omnipotent, once it's been filled with the 6 servants. The Holy Grail has absorbed 5 servants. We just need one more in turn to turn it into the omnipotent pot they desire. Wait, what? Who's alive? Who's been defeated? In order. We lost. Rider. We lost. Berserker. Caster. Assassin. Lancer's not dead yet. Archer. So Lancer is some... Wait, no. Lancer just burned himself in a fire. Or is Archer still alive? Is Hero Emiya somehow still alive? He is still alive through Arshiro. Has Arshiro become the Archer? What? Did he just transfer that to us somehow? Or is Assassin somehow alive, despite his master being dead? Either Lancer is alive, somehow Archer's power is alive through us, or he's still alive. Or Assassin's alive. Others seem very, very, very dead. Then the Holy Grail can truly only be handled by masters. If it is meant to be a reserve of magical energy, then only mages can use it.
But if one's master is a capable mage, then they could grant any wish for you. Such miracles are not granted to mere humans, you fool. It is the fate of humans to destroy themselves, no matter how much power they wield. Do not worry, Saber. This Holy Grail is the real thing. Once 7 heroic spirits are incorporated into it, I guarantee it will reach the origin of all things. The origin? Hold on. Are you saying that the Holy Grail is... I don't know who, but whoever first designed this scheme was unmistakably a genius worthy of the gods.
What the heck happened in the First Holy Grail War?
Still, it has nothing to do with me. I have nothing to do with me. I have no interest in such things. I only care about its power as a gate.
The root, okay.
The Holy Grail is a gate? Recall, Saber, 10 years ago when I was one step away from attaining the Holy Grail. You denied me my prize! You clove it in two with your sacred sword, and what spilled out set fire to the town. I stood directly under the Grail, and was submerged in its contents. That is when I learned its true nature. It is truly absurd, but it has its uses. Among my many weapons, none are as specialized at killing people as this. It can stay the way it is. I have no need for some all-powerful cauldron. A weapon. Do you say that because it can summon servants, Archer? Of course. We have always been weapons, but this thing has perfected the task. The Holy Grail is a gate to hell, and once open, it will brim with 5.6 billion curses. Didn't Kodamine tell you? The name of the Holy Grail is Amra Mainyo. All the evil in the world. As the name suggests, it is an apocalyptic mud which consumes all humans.
Ogra Mainyu. Believe me, you will need to say it a lot later. Ongra Mainyu. Ongra Mainyu. Ongra Mainyu. Thank you. You will probably have to remind me that in the future. Ongra Mainyu. If I recall correctly, that's the name of a devil from Zoroastrianism. On, like lines, on. Ongra Mainyu. Ongra Mainyu, Ongra Mainyu, Ongra Mainyu, Clementine. You are lost and real evil, Holy Grail, you kinda suck. It is said to be the ruler of evil who's been fighting the gods for thousands of years. It's depicted as an embodiment of all of humans' malice, to be a reflection of humanity's goodwill. So why is the Holy Grail named after some ancient Persian demon? And your objective is to purge all humans. Like Kodamine, I don't intend to cherish humanity. I only cherish beautiful things. This world is enjoyable, but it's unspeakably hideous. It is blasphemy to kill the king for the teeming masses of Mongols to be allowed to celebrate their lives. I have no desire to rule over such a realm. Are you stupid? What blasphemy? It doesn't matter to be a king whether one person dies or not. If they die, then it's for the best. If they are killed by their own sins, then their lives were not worth living to begin with. What I desire are not mongrels. Only those who can survive the depths of hell are worthy of my rule. That is what I made last time a failure. The humans of today are truly feeble. If they died from a fire of that magnitude, His lips curl in a smile. For the first time, he looks at me. One of the failures. I don't know what Onra Minu is. Ongra Minu. Ongra Minu. Ongra Minu. But is it not convenient? It is a sin that falls on all mankind equally. It is a bottomless darkness created by humans which exists only to kill humans. A perfectly suitable hunting dog to delegate my work to. Gilgamesh raises an arm. Noble phantasms float on the ready behind him, awaiting his command. Now, let's pick up from 10 years ago. Last time we were interrupted by some mongrel trash. But we don't have to worry about that now. Of course, an even more vile faker scum darkens the room now. All the swords point at me. Uh-oh. Try to stand up. Oh yeah, leg's broken. That ain't happening. I can't even block a single one of these. Why did Archer entrust his will to me? There's Lancer's fire. The swords disappear, and the golden servant suddenly puts down his arm. He looks up at the ceiling with displeasure and brushes something off his shoulder. Thank you, Lancer. My clothes got dirty. You've escaped with your life today, boy. Thank you, Gilgamesh. Ah! The castle's on fire. Don't know who said it, but it's pretty intense. Thank you, Lancer. Clap, 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 clap. The third floor is already surrounded by flames, and they've reached the second floor. Oh, that is not what I should be surprised about. He decided not to fight because his clothes got dirty? Really? Running away, Archer. I'm changing locations, Saber. I have the Holy Grail in hand. I prefer to settle things quickly. I'll promptly create a Holy Grail and open a hole to hell. His blonde hair flutters. Gilgamesh walks toward the terrace that isn't on fire. If you want to take it back, then hurry. However, this Holy Grail will be a rushed, defective product. If you don't come soon, it might spill out. His muffled laughter echoes. Then he leaves the burning castle. Sparks have started to dance around the giant hall, and the ceiling is crumbling by the second. The formerly ornate castle does not resemble itself anymore. Its master gone, it crumbles away without a trace. As if to follow the pale girl. And the maids! Why are you hating on the maids, game? No respect! Another interlude? Ah! Do I have it in me? Does my voice have it in me? I've still got to do things and I have to wake up early tomorrow. Okay. So, there's going to be a day 15. It's probably going to be long. We probably won't be able to finish it on the next stream because now we have this interlude and finishing up this day. So, let's go ahead and take a break before my voice gives out. Oh lord, this was a fun one. So much existential. I would advise finishing on the interlude or after the interlude. The interlude is pretty short. Okay, we will... I trust you. We are finishing the interlude. Although the last time you said something was short, it was not short. Shinji Matao wanders through the forest, his breathing ragged and bestial. He was headed in a concrete direction, to be clear, but his mental state is utterly lost. With no objective, all he can do is run. Wandering is the only appropriate word to describe his behavior. Oh, just a little more. I was so close, but they all had to get in my way. He pushes tree branches aside with one arm, splashing through the mud. Shinji heads for the forest exit, his blood stains marking his trail. Of course, the shoulder wound Lancer gave him hadn't healed. He's already lost sensation in his right arm. His wound is red and inflamed. Oh, his arm won't move. It's like a necrotized limb. Oh, he trips and stumbles into a tree. It must be difficult running with only one arm. His right arm hangs like dead weight. Then he realizes that a part of his body has become dead weight and starts to laugh. Ha 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 ha! His laugh turns into a coughing fit. It hurts. He feels hot and feverish, perhaps due to the wound. His hazy mind imagines his arm rotting away. Then he starts to hallucinate about all the people around him rotting away. Not just their arms. All those other idiots should know their place and be hurt even worse than him. He can't stop laughing. The thought makes the pain slightly more bearable. He has a real purpose now. His first goal is to gather arms. He'll take arms from everyone, no exception. Have I got a Nintendo Switch game for you from year one? That's good. Now to decide on the first. The girl who wouldn't do what he said? He's the one he liked the most, but he can't stand the thought of her looking prettier than him. Just you wait, Tosaka. I'll make you lower than me. Shinji mumbles a laugh, then looks up. Huh? That servant is standing in front of him. When did he get there? You! He stares at the servant. The golden servant looks down at Shinji, the way one might look at livestock. You're injured. It looks pretty bad. That must hurt. His tone is disinterested. Shinji's face distorts. He glares at the man in front of him, failing to realize what the servant's words might have implied. That must hurt, then whose fault do you think it is? Lancer did this to me because you're stupid. You're not even as good as a guard dog. How dare you talk to me that way? Shinji rages at the servant. The golden servant nods, unconcerned. So, Lancer gave you that wound. He must have let the master go. Yes, you got that right. And Tosaka got away because you're scum. I want to throw up thinking about how that cockroach got me. I see. That's too bad. Why are you trying to act cool? We need Tosaka to get the Grail, don't we? Oh, you ruined everything. Don't you get that? What are we going to do? Settle down. Plan hasn't changed. I can still make a Holy Grail. The servant speaks emotionally. Shinji doesn't realize that the servant's red eyes aren't even looking at him. How? Kotomine said we can't do anything unless we have a vessel. We need more than the kid's heart. It won't turn into a Holy Grail unless we connect it to quality magic circuits. Shinji approaches his servant and berates him for his incompetence. The golden servant nods again. Then there's no problem. We still have another master that can serve as a Holy Grail right here. Then he casually thrusts his arm out. Shinji doesn't realize what the noise was until the very end. His stomach feels strange. When he looks down, he sees a servant's arm. The fist is embedded in his body. It doesn't hurt, nor is there any blood. The servant's arm sinks deep into his stomach, as if it's performing some outlandish spiritual surgery. Alright, I will give it to you. I will give it to you. But I do enjoy making Shinji suffer through my voice. Next time we see Lancer, we'll try the bad Irish accent again. We still have no idea who two people are. Alright, Shinji. I will let you say something.
You desire the Holy Grail. I'll give it to you. It's important, so don't let go of it again. Blood vessels swell.
Wriggle, 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 wriggle.
He feels something alien swarming and writhing within him. And then he ceases to be Shinji Matao.
Still sad it's not me that's doing this.
He convulses.
Does that count as a kill still? I'm counting as a kill still. That's absolutely a kill still. Gilgamesh, you are still like my favorite, but I am annoyed. I'm a little bit annoyed and disappointed in you, Gilgamesh. I thought we were cool. I thought we could be best friends. We could just rain down hell on earth and we could just chill out together, but nah. You steal my kill.
There's just a swollen hunk of meat there now. It has no clear shape. It is made up only of naked muscles.
We're naked. We're naked. You know what we need to do? We don't have nakedness here.
Suddenly, sudden growths of meat and short-lived decaying meat.
If he can keep screaming in pain, I will accept it that I get to kill him. Or maybe I can keep him as a pet.
His mind breaks, unable to withstand the discomfort of something wriggling inside him, and the pain of endless growth and decay. The servant watches for a while, and then departs as if nothing remarkable had happened. So hideous! A powerful mage wouldn't have morphed like this, but I suppose there's no helping it. Chains extend out. The chains of the heaven appear in midair and bind the infinitely expanding and rotting mass of flesh. Currently, it's teetering between growth and decay, but the Holy Grail should quickly learn how to use its host. Once that happens, the growth should greatly exceed the decay. At this rate, this Holy Grail will soon be complete. Ah! Bizarre! Ugly foods taste better. And most of all, I'm sure you'll spit out the mud that I need. Won't you, Shinji? Servant chortles. In his shadow, the mass of flesh repeats. In a voice no longer human.
That was a very satisfying ending. Does that count as the good end? Does that count as the true end? I'm okay with that. Just needed you to see Shinji become a goop monster before the ending. Yeah. Alright, we're about to have bedtime, but knowing these people, they might talk for like another half hour, so take a break here. How's the flowchart looking? Ooh, glad we stopped. We get to start off with a heart choice next time. Heck yeah. Oh, Holy Grail. That was fun to see you. Next time, the final day. We'll see. Oh, we'll see how long it lasts. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can finish next time, but we will see how long we go, how long the day feels, how long the battle feels. Dear Lord, the battle here felt like it took a long time. Hope you like the Archer conclusion. I am mostly satisfied with it. I am mostly satisfied with it. Am I happy that Shinji, in the end, does Shinji change? Or, not Shinji, Shiro. Does Shiro change? I hate that their stupid name is both she. At the end of it, is Shiro a different person? He is... I guess he's more steadfast in his belief. Like, the beliefs that were his father's, maybe they have finally fully become his? I'm not sure on that. With how it was developing, I was kind of hoping Shiro would not completely give up on Kiritsugu's dream of and being the hero of justice. I was hoping he would sort of amalgamize them into his own dream, and it didn't quite feel like that. It didn't feel enough like that. In the end, I guess he is fulfilling Archer's destiny. He is fulfilling that timeline because it just feels like it is a continuation of that. It feels like the loop is not closed, and that kind of makes me sad. Zero and Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Field will not become Archer at the very Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Field will not become Archer. Okay, that's an interesting way to look at it. So, I guess he did enough. I guess seeing what this Archer became will be enough to put him on a slightly different path. But I don't trust that that path is going to be different based on the words that Shiro was saying, based on his beliefs. Shiro still feels like he's going to turn into this Archer. That, at least to me, as of now, that's what it still feels like. But, we'll see. Path's not over yet. But I think Shiro's growth has peaked. It has reached its climax. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see where it goes. The next stream I am going to be aiming for Wednesday for our next stream, partially because I don't have wrestling that night to watch. So sometime in the afternoon we will be streaming on Wednesday. Any prediction for Heaven's Feel right now? I got nothing. Just like based on what you've said, Sakura's going to get involved, and Sakura's going to be more involved because that's where her hearts are going to matter. And it would suck if Sakura didn't have a path where she felt important. I feel like she's going to be forced into the war. I think prediction for Heaven's Feel. Shinji dies early, and Ryder gets Sakura to be her master. And things go bad. That is my prediction for Heaven's Feel. I know nothing about Heaven's Feel. Like, I might have read, like, a synopsis, like, a decade ago, but I literally do not remember it. Thank you, Brain. I am actually grateful for your not remembering stuff right now. But yeah. We get the heart points with Sakura, Ilya, Saber, and Rin. And I've seen the importance of the Saber ones, and I'm guessing we're going to see the importance of the Rin and Saber ones by the end of this route. It's just, where do the Ilya and Sakura points come in? I guess those points have to come into effect in Heaven's Feel. So perhaps Rin is more of an enemy in Heaven's Feel. Like, Rin is not as strong an ally. We'll see. I think we end up Ilya points are super important. I think we side with Ilya early in Heaven's Feel. I feel like that's what's going to happen. We side with Ilya and we don't side with Ren. Or at least Ren might be taken out. Ren might die. Who knows? Alright. Let's go see who's still streaming at the moment so we can share a little bit of love with some who is playing games out there that are super interesting that I want to watch people play. Yeah. T-Swizzle has been doing a couple of blind playthroughs. He did a full blind through of the entire Fire Emblem series, which is how I first found him. He's currently doing a blind playthrough of the Legend of Zelda series, but it also looks like he's doing a blind playthrough of the Yakuza series, and it looks like he's on my favorite, Yakuza Like a Dragon. So let's go watch my buddy play a little bit of Like a Dragon, because Like a Dragon is cool. All of the Yakuza games should just be RPGs from now on. Although I probably will enjoy Pirate Yakuza. Because Majima. Let's raid into T-Swizzle. If you feel like participating in the raid, we do have raid commands. You've activated my raid card because branding both the subbed and unsubbed version. We will try to stream on Wednesday for maybe the conclusion of this, if not the penultimate episode of Unlimited Blade Works this Thursday. Hopefully we'll be able to stream Ace Attorney on the Worst Heroes channel. Gonna have a fun time with that because, dear Lord, I love that series, and I've been watching the VODs. I still love it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever participated in. It's just a wonderful thing. Alrighty then. Thank you so much to everyone who stopped by today. This has been a blast. Went through a lot of trauma. Yay, trauma! And until next time, fare thee well. Ta-ta.